with a live, local teller through video at any of our ATMs. Deposit checks, withdraw cash, and get personalized assistance all at the touch of a button. Experience the future of banking today with Mid-America National Bank's My Banker ITMs. Mid-America National Bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Farmington Village Nursing and Rehabilitation, Fulton County's premier skilled nursing facility, offering services such as short stay rehab to home, long-term placement for you or a loved one in your time of need, outpatient therapy services for people of all ages. Farmington Village, a federally contracted VA nursing home specializing in caring for our nation's heroes. Enjoy amenities like restaurant-style dining, plan community activities and entertainment with 24/7 professional nursing care in a quiet, comfortable home-like setting. Farmington Village, located at 701 South Main Street in Farmington, Illinois.
Grit. It's that thing inside of you that ignites passion and empowers you to envision a world full of possibility. At Western Illinois University, leathernecks are made with this grit. It starts here, in this field, in this room, on this court, and in this lab. We refuse to blend in because our purple stands out. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Your home for WIU Sports, Q98.1.
And the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody. We are at home for the first time this year at Hanson Field, and the Leathernecks hosting the Valpo Beacons. All of the band has lined up from the back of the end zone all the way to near midfield. On the opposite side of that, they form a tunnel with the cheerleaders and the drill team and the drum corps as they wait for the Leathernecks to come out. Valpo, meanwhile, is walking around the track on the north end, and they will be making their way to the far side bench on the east side. This is a rather hot day for football, and you've got the sun blaring down on that east bench. How much does that drain the body early in the game?
I tell you, just being out in the parking lot, and we had a tent up, and we were, cooking underneath the tent. You just sit on that concrete and you just bake. Luckily, there's a little bit of breeze now. The flags aren't moving on the goalposts right now, so the breeze has died, but at least earlier it was. I mean, you just sit in that heat and just kind of bake, and it kind of drains you.
Meanwhile, the Leathernecks have still not made an appearance down on their end yet. Hopefully they'll be here soon and can run out before we take a break so you can hear the crowd, because the crowd's starting to fill in pretty good here on the home side. This is the Apex Financial Associates pregame show. They are proud supporters of Leatherneck football, have a new location in downtown Macomb. Make sure you stop in. They'll help you focus on your financial future. Health-wise, from last week, Dr. Leathernecks came out of the two Big Ten games in actually really good shape as far as personnel goes health-wise.
Yeah, I think, you take a look at those things, it's always a positive to play up, with the money. We talked about the bye games and those types of things, but you want to come out healthy going into the OVC. Now you take a look at that and you think, I think both Northwestern and Illinois had more dinged up players than we did coming out of those two games. And so, but that happens in every game. Even you take a look at and then the first 3 weeks of the season are people trying to figure out, because they haven't had time to really play together. And so, that's, you hate to say it, but that's part of the sport of football.
Well, and I don't know if everybody saw it, but Rodney Harrison, the former Leatherneck in the early 90s, did a video for the first game of the season for the Peacock Network, which carried the game on TV. And I think it was shared on all of the Western Illinois Facebook pages. But he talked about, you're going to play up. They've got the big name on the uniform and the helmets. You got to smack them in the mouth to get their respect. And as he said that, I found it ironic. I was looking at some of the Northwestern message boards after the game last week, and they said Western Illinois smacked them around pretty good defensively, put some good hits on some of those running backs and receivers, and they thought it was, ended up being a pretty good tune-up for the Wildcats. First of all, they needed the win. They got it, but they got hit pretty hard, and they needed that going into this week. They're playing Oregon tomorrow.
Well,
today they played.
They got beat today. I think it was 40. I think they scored 7 points or 10 points, something like that. Got beat by 30-plus points.
I'm not used to having a game on Saturday. Sorry.
There we go. It's our first Saturday game of the year, too, after 2 Fridays. And, there's a thing what we call football shape, and you get used to playing bruised up and beat up and getting up in the morning and playing sore, and that's just part of the process.
The Leathernecks make their way through the man-made tunnel, led by Captain Peyton Bradford. And the rest of the guys follow suit in the purple uniforms. And we'll take our final break of the Apex Financial Associates pregame show and come back with the kickoff. Leatherneck home season starts in just a bit on Q98.1 and the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
There are plenty of lenders out there, but few know farming like Compeer Financial. We are here with industry knowledge, a commitment to agriculture, and a will to help you succeed. Whether you farm 300 acres or 3,000, or your herd size is big or small. Compeer Financial, here for you. Call 844-426-6733 or visit Compeer.com today. Compeer Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the farmer to the DIYer, the homeowner with a yard to mow to the landscaper with hundreds to mow. At Heritage Tractor, we are deeply committed to your unique needs. We're here for you, and we're here for the long haul. We're not just located here, but we're part of this place. Our John Deere equipment and highly trained staff empower you to turn dreams into reality. Whether it's tending to your fields, running a business, or enhancing your piece of paradise, in all the ways that matter, Heritage Tractor is here for you.
You're listening to Leatherneck Sports on Q98.1, WILP-FM Cuba, Canton, Macomb, and on Q98.5, WLSB-FM Augusta, Plymouth, Bowen, the flagship stations of the Leatherneck Radio Network. Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
We're back here at Hanson Field. Leathernecks and Beacons getting ready to do battle. The captains have just met with the officials. The coin toss was held, and the Leathernecks won the toss, deferring to the second half. Valpo will take the football, and they'll do it on the north end. So the Leathernecks will kick from our right to our left, from south to north. Leatherneck captains out there, Jalen Ribbon, Chris Irvin, Peyton Bradford, and Christian Pierce. And they're only letting 4 captains go on the field. Leathernecks have 5. And this week it was Dagan Miller who looked over at Nick Irvin and says, or Chris Irvin, and said, you go.
You go. Yeah.
You go. So it's really cool when the captains take care of that.
No doubt about it. You take a look at that. You get elected as a captain. You want to be out there. But, kudos to Western Illinois. And I think they did the same thing last week.
Yep, Peyton Bradford let the other 4 go out.
The other 4 go out, yep.
So they went out there, and, of course, with the duplicate numbers, there's one number 5 on defense, 1 on offense. They were both out there. And they lined up numbers 5, 9, 3, 5. And I thought, please don't make it a 59-35 score, because we'll be here all night. And then I thought maybe 59-3 and we force 5 turnovers. What do you think of that?
There you go. You take a look at it. Western Illinois wins the toss. The First are going to start on down on defense. Let's see if they can pick up where they left off last week.
They went to the wrong end of the field.
Wrong end of the field. This is not a good start.
Valpo said they wanted to receive on the north end, and the receiving team came out to the south end. So the Leatherneck kicking team went to the north end. And the official looked at him and said, "What are you guys doing?" It's the opposite of what we said. Anyway, pregame show has been brought to you by Apex Financial Associates, proud supporters of Leatherneck football. They work throughout the Macomb, Illinois area with their clients to focus on your financial future. Stop by their new location in downtown Macomb. Next up, it is the opening kickoff brought to you by Leatherneck Sports Properties. You're listening to Leatherneck Football. Not a better way to advertise your company and product than through the association with Leatherneck Athletics. Contact Rick Thompson, 678-448-2115, or email Rick, CRAsports@gmail.com. And the Leathernecks will kick to start the game. I want to make sure that I got the right number out there. Is that Mr. Chata doing the kicking duties as usual? I don't see the same number as usual, so it is not It's a short kick to the 14-yard line. The Valpo return man comes right up the middle, and he's tackled right around the 30-yard line, maybe the 31. Doing the kicking for the Leathernecks, it looked like it was number 80, but I don't have a kicker listed at number 80. We have had some number changes throughout the early part of the season, and sometimes the communication doesn't get all the way to the radio guys. We'll try to pick it all up for you, okay? But it was not Antonio Chata on the kickoff. It was one of the other Leatherneck kickers, and it came down to the 30-yard line, and that is where things will start. Now, Chata wears number 53. Might have been number 60. Casper Lobus, he's listed as a kicker. 6'2", 200, a freshman, and that was probably him. So Valpo with some very hard-to-read numbers comes out on first down. They're going to fling it out here to the near side. It's caught. Getting away from the first tackler is the receiver, number 9 for the Beacons. That is Chris Gundy, a 5'7", 170-pound junior, making the catch off the pass from Rowan Keefe, another redshirt junior, 6'3", 195-pounder, wears number 2, and it's a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and 4 from the 36-yard line. Valpo has San Diego Padre colors, if you're a baseball fan, when the Padres look good. They're white jerseys, brown pants, but gold numbers, very hard to read in the sunlight right now.
Yeah, I was going to apologize and say we cannot see numbers. If they are in the sun, you don't have no idea who's got the ball.
They have 2 wide receivers to the left. They send one from the right side in motion, and then they hand off back this way, and it's a good run and a first down for the Beacons. Coming up with the carry, Michael Mansoure, who is their leading ball carrier, a grad student. Get this, Doc, in his 6th year of football. His backup, DeWyan McNeely, is in his 7th year. They have 13 years of experience in their 2 main running backs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we're getting out of the COVID years and all those things, so this should stop. But Valpo has come out with really 2 nice plays to start the game.
They're at their 45. They have a first down. And the quarterback, Keefe, sends a man from the right side to the left side. Now he's got another guy moving. Another guy takes place at the front of the line of scrimmage. Another fellow backs up. 3 seconds on the play clock. He pulls it out, keeps it himself, and gets about a yard before being brought down by the safety up and charging up into the run area. Buju Amua Tui Savora.
Yeah, really a nice play that time. Good discipline by Western Illinois on defense. Gilroy took the quarterback on that play on the read option, and so that means the safety, Buju's got to come down and have the running back. He does, tackles him for a gain of 3. Nice job on the knowing your responsibilities.
Keefe is the quarterback. Mansoure, the running back. The wide receivers are Jay Melcuri, Chris Gundy, and Ryan Ricchetti to start the game. The tight end is Brandon Welch. And among that group, there are a couple of freshmen. Welch and Ricchetti are both redshirt freshmen. They look like they're going to throw here on 2nd and 8. Straight drop. He fires. Good coverage on the near side. Passes too wide for the intended receiver. Devin Yates, who was in the lineup that time, a 6'2", 210-pound redshirt junior. Coverage provided by Justin Richardson.
Yeah, that time Christian Pierce came from the linebacking position. I think it was Christian Gilroy on the other side made that ball get out early. Nice coverage. Western Illinois gets them in 3rd and long. Got to get off the field.
3rd down and 8. Valpo on their own side of the field on the 47-yard line. Their offensive line, the smallest, as we expected that we'd seen this year, going 300, 275, 265, 290, and 305 across the line. Everybody says that's small. Well, it is for D1 football anymore. Straight back to pass. Nobody open downfield. Has to get to the outlet man, the running back, Mansoure. He's able to avoid one tackler, but is brought down 3 yards short of a first down. Kevin Washington, the middle linebacker, up in the play, and it's a 4th and 3 from the Leatherneck 48. What will the Beacons do here in their first 4th down situation? Offense is jogging off the field. Leatherneck defense stays out there.
Yeah, well, Leathernecks will go to punt safe here. Just, you're playing up, so you got to expect maybe crazy things on special teams, just like we were talking about Western doing it against Northwestern or Illinois. But Western Illinois, after giving up a first down in 2 plays, holds them on 3. And I think that's one of the keys to the game. We didn't talk about that, but, 3rd down efficiency for us is key, and getting them off the field. Now Western Illinois has too many men on the field, but they didn't throw the flag.
Punt, fair catch made at the 16-yard line by Christian Anaya off the leg of the punter for Valpo. That is Nate Hillenberg. That 3rd down stop brought to you by Domino's. Try Domino's New York-style pizza. Use the Domino's app. It'll be at your door before the next touchdown. And the Leathernecks take over for the first time tonight. The ball will be at their own 16-yard line after the fair catch by Anaya. So a first down on that opening possession for Valpo, but that was it. And now the Leathernecks take over. We'll get the starters after this first play. Urban will hand off. And Markel Holman has nowhere to go. Gets a very short gain, a little push from the offensive line at the end to try to get him back to the line of scrimmage, and they do. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Chris Urban, 6'3", 215, a junior, the starting quarterback, wears number 5. Markel Holman, the tailback, wears number 6. Starting wide receivers expected to be Damari Davis, Christian Anaya, and Eric Johnson. Tight end, Brandon Lanier. And the offensive line from left to right tonight, Jeremiah Banks-Wall, Dagan Miller, James Duran, Dorian Arreyes, and Matt Montgomery gets the start. On 2nd down, it's a handoff again to, Markel Holman, who buries a couple of tacklers with his shoulder and gets it all the way out to 1st down yardage, just shy, just over the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about a foot.
Yeah, 2 running plays. That time they run the draw. Chris Irvin kind of sprinting to his left, and then it's the go-back draw to the right-hand side, and he had a nice hole, but then ran right over somebody to pick up a nice gain. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Out of the shotgun, Damari Davis splits to the wide right, 2 wide receivers to the left, including backup tight end Alex Williams, who's in for most of the snaps so far this season, even though he's not listed as a starter, plays a lot. Handoff up inside. That'll be enough for a 1st down as the Leathernecks move the pile on a smallish defensive line for Valpo, a gain of 3, and it'll be a Leatherneck 1st down at the 33-yard line on the run by Markel Holman.
Yeah, this is the first opportunity in 3 games for Western Illinois to go up against a similar size or even a smaller defensive line. So I expect Western Illinois to kind of try to come out and establish the running game here to start this game.
Alex Goborowski, Anthony Morris, Isaiah Fowler, DeAndre Wilburn are the front 4 for Valpo. Nobody over 280 in that bunch. Quick pass to the outside is caught, but for a loss of yardage for Damari Davis as he is taken down immediately. Tried to throw a little quick screen out to him on the right side, and a good play by the cornerback over there, Nick Lendino. He's joined in the defensive backfield by O.C. Nurse. At the other corner, Mark Johnson and Wyatt Little are the safeties. Anthony Feltrinelli, Micah Markley, and Max Samuel are the linebackers for Valpo. 2nd down and 12 after that 2-yard loss. Man in motion is Brinson Williams, the backup running back. Oh, there's Markel Holman off to the races. He breaks free on the right side. He's in the Valpo territory, 40, 30, and down to the 25-yard line before being shoved out of bounds. A real good ball fake from Chris Urban. I was watching him. I looked up. Markel had the ball. He broke free on the right side, Doc, and that was just a well-blocked play.
Yeah, that was the same play they just ran on the previous series. A good 1st down, and now Western's up the line. Biggest run of the year for the Fighting Leathernecks.
Gotta love it. 25-yard line, 1st down. Now going to throw. Urban going down the right side in the corner and just over the outstretched hands of wide receiver Fabian Baez, a junior from Chicago, number 1, who was in on that play. Leathernecks are going through a lot of wideouts here early in the season, trying to find that right combination out there. And the defense was offsides on the play, so the Leathernecks will now get a 1st and 5 from the 20-yard line of Valpo. They moved into the red zone.
Yeah, after the nice run there by Holman, Western Illinois goes quickly and catches Valpo offsides, and they go for the home run. Ball don't get it, but it's 1st and 5 with the penalty.
Out of the gun, Princeton Williams gets his first carry, busted up the middle for about 3 yards. He is a 6'2", 220-pound junior from Sewanee, Georgia. And it's good to see him get some carries. Doc, we talked about that before we started the pregame show, that the Leathernecks coaching staff had to be aware of not leaving some of these starters on the field for an extended period of time.
Yeah, because of the heat, you got to roll people through, and Holman's really taken the majority of snaps. I think Williams has had less than 5 carries in 2 games, and so expect to see him get quite a bit tonight.
He stays in on this one. Alex Williams comes in motion, and Brinston Williams makes the carry. 1st down and more inside the 10, all the way down to about the 7-yard line, but he fumbled it. Valpo, no, the referee on the far side is saying he was down on contact. One of the Valpo D-backs picked it up and took off the other way. First down and goal for the Leathernecks at the 8-yard line as Brinston Williams popped it up the middle for 10.
Yeah, really nice job. Brilt Williams hit the hole hard. Nice job on the offensive side of the right side of the offensive line.
Another handoff, this time going to the right side inside the 5-yard line. Got to hang on to that football. Looks like Valpo thinks one of the opportunities for them is going to be to try to strip the ball out of there and make some turnovers happen. Did Holman come back in on that one, or was that was Holman, right?
I think it was somebody. I couldn't see the number.
No, Holman.
It is Holman. Holman was back in.
So he carries it to the 4, where it's 2nd and goal. We've got 8:04 to play in a scoreless first quarter. This is the first drive for the Leathernecks, and they're moving the ball sharply downfield. Dylan Legy checks in for Dagan Miller, the left guard. He gets a break, and Legy comes in to take his spot on the offensive line. I formation behind Urban. Haven't seen that out of this offense, and a great lead block by the fullback on the play. And Markel Holman dives into the end zone for a score. Touchdown, Leathernecks.
Leathernecks find pay dirt, take their first lead of the year on their opening drive. Travel down the field all by, except for 1-2 passes, all on the run, and Western Illinois puts 6 on the board.
An 84-yard drive for the Leathernecks, highlighted by that 3-yard touchdown run by Markel Holman. The biggest play was a 30-yard run by Holman earlier in the drive, and that's your Rich Weston scoring drive recap as the Leathernecks with the upcoming extra point off the foot of Antonio Chata, which is good. Take a 7-0 lead with 7:45 to play in the first quarter. And for the first time, Doc, this year, we can go to break by saying the Leathernecks have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage. And we'll be right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
What do you want from an ag lending partner? Someone who supports smart decision-making and values relationships. And when your farm faces financial challenges, someone who looks you in the eyes and says, "We are here for you." Find what you're looking for at Compeer Financial. Compeer Financial, here for you. Let's work together. Call 844-426-6733 or visit Compeer.com today. Compeer Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
When it comes to your farm, you need more than just products. You need a trusted partner who understands your challenges. At West Central FS, they're here to support you season after season. From high-quality seeds to crop protection and custom application services, they ensure your fields get what they need to thrive. Plus, they provide diesel fuel, lubricants, and reliable propane to keep your equipment running smoothly. West Central FS, your partner in growing success. Contact them today.
Your home for WIU Sports, Q98.1.
Leathernecks jump out to a 7-0 lead, 7:45 to play first quarter, and the ag leaders from our area being acknowledged on the field right now. As a matter of fact, one of those people on the field, Keely Wilcoxon, will join us up here at halftime. She is the president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, part of the Illinois Farm Bureau, and we look forward to meeting with Keely and talking about things going on within the Farm Bureau. We're looking for some live stats at this point. They're not up yet. We hope to have them for you soon. We can keep track of what's going on in this game as the Leathernecks drive it down the field 84 yards, throwing, as Doc said, only 2 passes. One was complete for a loss of 2, the other one incomplete down the sideline. The rest of it was done on the ground, and that's what the Leathernecks coaching staff was hoping for, is to establish that ground game. Will open up the air game later on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, you're finally playing against a team that's not outweighing you by 50 to 100 pounds. And so have not really gotten the running game going. That time on the opening drive, the Leatherneck Express gets going with Holman's big 30-plus yard run, and then just pound to put it in the end zone. Somebody opens the refrigerator door. We reach in, get out the beverage. Western Illinois scores.
Talking with head coach Joe Davis, the Leathernecks had a very good back that the coaching staff turned into a star last year, and Cameron Smith, who did a nice job for this club, was the first guy we'd seen rush for real positive yardage in a long time for Leathernecks football. But he said, Markel is not quite as big. He's about 205. Cam was 225. But he said overall, for the whole game, blocking, receiving, and running the ball, he feels he is a better all-around back than Cameron. We expect big things out of Markel throughout the season.
Yeah, you get all these, coaches. We talk to them about players, in the fall camp and in the games. And when you play up, it's kind of sometimes hard to see what they see in practice every day unless you're out at practice every day, right, BJ? Right. So you take a look at it now, you have an opportunity, and all of a sudden, Holman has his best yardage so far off the first drive of this game.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about season stats because really it was hard for the offense to compile a lot of stats against the likes of Illinois and Northwestern. We'll do more of that as the season goes on, of course, particularly important are the conference stats once we get into conference play. Before we do that, we go next week to Eastern Washington for the final non-conference game as Antonio Chata returns to the kicking position and boots it all the way through the end zone on the north end. So it'll be a touchback. Valpo will start at the 25, that lightning leg of Antonio Chata. The ball just explodes off his foot. I see kickers kick it long, but it kind of floats off their foot. And when he kicks it, it's like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I love Antonio. You know, he's one of our Bus 3 crew, so we always are having fun with him and, joking around with him. And he's not your stereotypical looking kicker.
Right.
Yeah, he's more like a fire hydrant is the best way to put it, And so I said earlier in the year, I said, hey, dude, you worked out, got in really good shape this summer. And he goes, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And he's got a really alive leg.
5'9" and hammers the ball down the field. Looks up into the crowd. Now he jumps on the bike. You got to love when a kicker will get on the bike between his kicks and work out a little bit. Pistol formation for Valpo. They're going to hand it off on first down to Mansoray, who has been their leading ball carrier the first 2 weeks. He picks up about 3, and Chikala Warden, starting cornerback on the far side, will cut him down there. Warden and Justin Richardson are the cornerbacks. Buju Amua, Tui Savora, and Malini Tia are the safeties. The linebackers been pretty good so far this year. Christian Pierce, one of the captains, and Kevin Washington Jr. in the middle, Esteban Guillory on the strong side. They have all reached double digits in tackles after 2 games against those Big Ten foes.
Yeah, they've been very, very active in the first 2 games.
Second down and about 6 as they give Mansoray a 4-yard gain. He's just a little fella, 5'9", 195. That's, relatively little. Big guy on the average guy on the street, but in football, he's given up some poundage and some height. He gains 2 yards on second down to make it third down and 4. That interior, the defensive line, the 2 tackles, Keyshawn Harrington, McKinney, and Payne Miller in on the stop. The ends are both voted as as captains by their teammates. Peyton Bradford, the 245-pound senior, and 285-pound senior Jalen Ribbon on the other side. Jalen's got a great voice. Remember he sang to us on the airplane? Just a great voice out of that young man. On third down and short. Pass complete. It'll be good for a first down over the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Tackle made by Esteban Guillory, and the receiver on the play. I didn't catch the number. Got about 5 yards. If he turns around, I can maybe see it. Looked like number 2, perhaps? Or 9. Was it 9, Gundy? I think it was. 2 wide receivers each way now. No tight end in this set, with Mansoray lined up in the pistol behind Roman Keefe, who's the guy wearing number 2. So they can't have two number 2s on offense. Now they bring all 4 receivers in tight. Make it look like this one might be a running play. He fakes it, play action, drops back, fires deep over the middle, got a man, pass is caught, trying to make a move on the safety. Tia holds his ground, makes the tackle at around the 27-yard line, but a big play made by Valpo. Ryan Ricchetti, redshirt freshman, got open, made the catch, good protection up front. And Valpo deep into Leatherneck territory. First down, quick pass as they line right up at the line of scrimmage is complete for a short gain of about 2 out to the left side. Again, Ricchetti, the receiver.
Yeah, nice job that time. On the previous play, Western Illinois comes with the blitz, and Keefe does a nice job of stepping up in the pocket and had over the magic 3-second number and found a man wide open in man-to-man coverage on the far side of the field, threw a really good ball, and Valpo is, knocking on the door.
They're at the 25-yard line of Western with a second down and 8. Got to get to the 17 to move the chains. The one setback, Mansoray, is lined up to the right of the quarterback. Tight end moves from left to the right side. All 3 wide receivers are on the right. And a penalty is called. There were still 2 seconds on the play clock. We're seeing in the official signal.
False start. Offense, number 50.
For the false start. So a 5-yard penalty. Get those linemen down in a stance for 15, 18 seconds. That's hard to hold, isn't it?
Yep, no doubt about it. Western Illinois does their hockey line change on the defensive line, trying to give everybody a little break in this heat when they go second and long, put fresh legs in to rush the passer. And let's see if we can continue to push this ball backwards.
Number 86, Elijah Congolo, has checked in. He is a redshirt freshman, 6'4", 230, very active. He's at the left defensive end. Keep an eye on 86, Doc. He's been making some big plays in his minimal appearances, and he just about did there. The ball comes loose. And the quarterback was able to fall back on it. He might have bumped into his own lineman.
Yeah, it was a mix-up on the exchange, running the read option, and Western Illinois got penetration. Quarterback Keith tried to pull it back out and then drop the football. Western Illinois gets another tackle for a loss there, so it'll be now 3rd and very long. Can they get off the field?
David Dunstan was the senior defensive end on the other side, and he's been very active in his appearances. The Leathernecks are really deep all of a sudden across the defensive line.
Well, that's the nice thing about playing those two games. You get a lot of guys rotate in, get some experience.
3rd down and 15 now. 3rd and very long for Valpo. Shot down the left side. Back shoulder throw. Not able to make the catch is Jay Melcury. And it'll be 4th and 15. Another 3rd down stop for the Leathernecks, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Try Domino's New York style pizza. Use that Domino's app and it'll be at your door before the next touchdown. What are the Beacons going to do? By the way, next home football game is 2 weeks from tonight, Saturday, September 27th, against the Eastern Illinois Panthers. Order your WIU gear at bookstore.wiu.com. Let's make that a big rivalry win against those Panthers. 4th and 15, they've got the offense on the field. Don't know if they're going to snap it. They're trying to get the Leathernecks drawn offside to make it a little bit shorter. And now he's up under center is the quarterback. He's still trying to bark out a hard count, 2-1-0 on the play clock. They'll back it up 5 yards, and now they'll probably bring out the punt team as it'll go out beyond the 35 to the 38-yard line. Well, they tried to turn from 4th and 15 to 4th and 10, at which point they could have probably attempted a field goal, but they don't have a lot of faith in their field goal kicker over 45 yards.
No, and do you pull a Bill Belichick here and decline the penalty and make them have that short field to punt?
That could happen. The ball still sits at the 33 as the official has taken us to break, right?
Yes, we are at break.
We'll do the same thing. Leathernecks have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage, 7-0 with 3:27 to play in the first quarter. Leathernecks lead it on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
Apex Financial Associates is a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, and proud supporters of the Fighting Leathernecks. Give them a call at 309-864-6033 so we can get started planning for your future. At Apex Financial Associates, they document your goals, meet regularly to review and analyze your progress, update your approach as life changes, and help you track your progress along the way.
Domino's Mix and Match menu has items for every occasion. Flaked on your friend's open mic night? Flaky bread twists and molten lava cakes should do the trick. Soccer team duty? Medium 2-topping pizzas and stuffed cheesy bread are your best defense. Is it your dog's half birthday? Celebrate his biggish day with savory sandwiches and tender specialty chicken. Mix and match 2 or more items for $6.99 each at Domino's. Ask for this offer 2-item minimum prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Bone and wings, bread bowl pasta, and pan pizza will cost extra. Local stores set delivery fees and can charge extra for some menu items.
Leathernecks football is on Q981FM.com.
That was a shorter timeout than we anticipated. Valpo did indeed punt from the 38. The ball kicked at about the 5-yard line and bounced into the end zone for a touchback. So the Leathernecks will start. Unlike kickoffs, for punts, it's still the old-fashioned 20, is it? They're standing at the 20. These guys probably haven't a punt go in the end zone yet this year and have to remember where it goes.
Yeah, this is what the official has called a timeout, was looking for the red hat on the field. Don't see that person out there anywhere.
Well, we're going to keep it here just in case because I don't see, as Doc said, the red hat or the scoreboard person, as they call them, comes out on the field and lets the crew know that they are in a television media timeout, which are longer than our timeouts.
Apex Financial Associates. And Corey Flint.
Oh, there he is. He's over here by the official. So he is on the field, but we'll keep it here during this one and tell you a little bit about what's going on in Leatherneck world, including talking about our friends at Royal Printing, the official printing company of the Fighting Leathernecks. Royal Printing with locations in Macomb, Burlington, Iowa, and Quincy. Proud partner of Leatherneck Sports Properties. Call Royal Printing for your next job. With their extensive promotional printing and mailing capabilities, they are outstanding, and they have provided a brand new football program that has been built by Rick Thompson, Leatherneck Sports Properties. That's something we haven't seen in a few years here at Western Illinois. It looks outstanding.
Yeah, it's nice to have that there as you take a look at it. A lot of good information there and a good player profile. So make sure you pick one up and pick up some information about your Leatherneck football team.
The new programs will be available all season long from Leatherneck Sports Properties, and all of those fine sponsors, including Compeer Financial. Locations in Macomb, Monmouth, Morton, Quincy, and Geneseo. Compeer Financial exists to champion the hopes and dreams of rural America. Kids, now's the time to join the Rockies Kids Club, presented by Clock Tower Community Bank. Membership's just $25 for the entire year. Kids 12 and under receive free admission to all home games, football and basketball, a t-shirt, membership card, activities, food, and fun on game day. Visit GoLeathernecks.com to sign up today. And both basketball teams, I think, are going to have an exciting season. The women had a great run at the end of the year, and they've got most everybody back. A lot of good players and a lot of scoring back from last season's team. The men will be an almost completely new team with one returning player, and he didn't even play last year as a redshirt. But the talent that has been brought in by Coach Chad Boudreau and his very new staff is going to be very exciting to watch. There's a lot of guys that can shoot the ball from distance. You got some big guys in the middle that can pound it away, and looking forward for Leatherneck basketball, both men and women, starting in November. A couple of trips of interest. They've got a California trip again this year that I will not be able to be on because we'll be on the air on Saturday the 15th for the SEMO game, which will be a biggie, I think, at the end of the year. And the Leathernecks also plan on playing at Carver Hawkeye Arena against the Iowa Hawkeyes in November.
Yeah, that'll be a nice trip for Leatherneck fans to head over to the short trip to Iowa City to check out that game.
As I briefly mentioned, we go next week to Cheney, Washington, in the eastern part of Washington, take on Eastern Washington in Game 4 of the season. That should be a good challenge. Eastern Washington, another FCS team from the Western Conferences. And on first down, a keeper for Tanner Zolnoski, who checks in at quarterback. He gains 5 yards, and it's second down and 5. That was just a straight draw play for him. Tanner came in that SEMO game last year and astounded us with 3 of the calmest, most perfect throws we've ever seen.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tanner came in, picked up, if you remember, right before, I think he was 5 for 5 in that drive, threw a great touchdown pass, but it was 3rd and 14 and scrambled and picked up the first down. So in his short, brief period of time, he had an immediate impact on Leatherneck football.
There was a man that got up slowly for Valpo, and the official decided to go ahead and take a timeout.
Defensive injury on the field. They put 40 seconds on the play clock. The player presented as injured after the ball was spotted. That will be a charge stop. Their first of the half.
Wow, they got charged a timeout for that. New rule this year.
New rule this year, yep.
He went down after both teams started to line back up.
Yep. So, you talk about the coaching points for head coaches and those types of things. That's one of the things that you got to teach your players. Now, if you're hurt, just go down right away. We'll figure it out later.
Well, now the man with the vest is walking back off the field. Do we have a long timeout or a short one? Kind of hard to tell at this particular point in time. Everybody with the early season jitters trying to work things out. This, of course, the first home game of the year for the Leathernecks. After the trip to Eastern Washington to wrap up the non-conference portion of the schedule next Saturday, Leathernecks return home on the 27th to host Eastern Illinois. Played them late in the season last year. Actually had a little bit of momentum going into that game. Thought if you can beat Eastern and give SEMO a tussle, you might finish the conference season at 5-3 with Gardner-Webb at the end of the year. But it didn't work out that way. Eastern played well and held off the Leathernecks that day in Charleston. The Leathernecks want some revenge on the 27th. On 2nd and 5, Zolnoski stays in and keeps it again. Gets to the outside, sheds a tackler. First down, 35, almost to the 40. Delivers the blow on the defensive back. Defensive back came up to give him a good hit, and that was a good collision. I think Tanner got the better of it.
There's no slide in Tanner right now. He's getting his time on the field, and he says, if I'm running the football, I'm running the football. And defensive back thought he was going to go down, and Tanner delivered a blow. Nice pickup, another big gain by the Western Illinois Leathernecks, and they move the chains, 1st and 10 from the 40.
And after those 2 runs, Chris Irvin checks back in at quarterback. Zolnoski, 2 runs for 20 yards and a first down. Irvin drops straight back, slides to his right, still looking. Now he'll tuck it in and get hit right at the line of scrimmage, get no gain as Valpo's star linebacker, they call him. They have an X linebacker, the middle linebacker, and a star linebacker. Max Samuel came up to make the hit. It's 2nd down and 10. Zolnoski, by the way, is a redshirt freshman out of Woodbury, Minnesota. And I remember from my days in Minnesota, the Woodbury guys don't do a lot of sliding. They want to hit. Those Woodbury guys are tough.
Yeah, no doubt about it. At that time, Western Illinois only had a 2-man route there, both deep routes. Give credit to Valparaiso on the back end. They had everybody protected. I thought Irvin should have just tucked it down and go earlier, but he kept waiting for somebody to get open.
Markel Holman's on his right. He will take the handoff this time. Markel looking for a hole. Nothing there. Gets about a yard, maybe two, with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Leathernecks on top by a score of 7-0, and Holman will gain 2. They'll give him the 42. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Western Illinois. Wholesale changes for Valpo defensively. Leathernecks make a couple of changes as well as Fabian Baez, the junior receiver from Chicago, checks in. Williams goes out. Wide to the far side of the field will be Tristan Duncan. And then we've got one in the slot, and tight end Brandon Lanier now goes to the right slot. So 4 wide receivers in the set. Urban drops straight back, fires, looking for Damari Davis, leading receiver so far this year, and he shows us why. But a great catch in traffic, and a first down Leathernecks at the 45 of Valpo.
Yeah, Urban, that time was right on point. They had Lanier did a hook on the right, down the right hash, and Davis came underneath, and really a nice job of finding the open seam.
On first down, a handoff to Holman. He's finally stood up by a host of Valpo defenders after he gains 3 to the 42. It'll be 2nd down and 7, still 35 seconds left in the first quarter.
Give credit to the Western Illinois band. They're over there on the far west side of the stadium and far east side of the stadium over there. They're right in the sunshine, taking all the heat in those big band, those dark
those uniforms. Oh.
Yeah.
2nd down and 7 for the Necks at the 42-yard line of Valpo. Holman again, got a little room up the middle inside the 40 to about the 39, maybe the 38, depending on where they spot it. Looks more like the 39 it will be, and it's 3rd down and 4. Leathernecks getting the running game going, chewing clock when they do that. That'll be the last play of the first quarter. Quarter comes to an end with Western on top by a score of 7-0. We will take a timeout and come back here to Hanson Field. You are listening to the Illinois Farm Bureau Leathernecks Sports Network. Back after these.
When you think local service, you want someone who knows your area and knows you. At Cascom, we are local and provide the local service you expect, as well as the most reliable internet speeds available. Our technicians, our sales force, and our service representatives are all from your communities and provide an experience you can relate to. We are here for you and our community. To find out more, call today at 800-252-1799.
Farmington Village Nursing and Rehabilitation, Fulton County's premier skilled nursing facility, offering services such as short stay rehab to home, long-term placement for you or a loved one in your time of need, outpatient therapy services for people of all ages. Farmington Village, a federally contracted VA nursing home specializing in caring for our nation's heroes. Enjoy amenities like restaurant-style dining, plan community activities and entertainment with 24/7 professional nursing care in a quiet, comfortable home-like setting. Farmington Village, located at 701 South Main Street in Farmington, Illinois.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
Good first quarter for Western Illinois. As soon as we get somebody to carry us down some stats, we'll tell you exactly what those numbers were. But it is 7-0 in favor of the Leathernecks. And on the second possession for Western, guys are driving again inside Valpo territory at the 39, facing a 3rd and 4 when we get the second quarter started. BJ Stone and Dr. Tom Cody here at Hanson Field on a warm Saturday night. As we said in the pregame show, Mother Nature decided to make sure that we knew that it was still summer for about 9 more days until the fall solstice.
Yeah, so you've heard BJ and I talk about the size of our booth, and really it's like 4 feet wide. We've got one fan in here, and we have to divvy up time to see who's going to get the fan for the next 2 minutes or not. I mean, it's absolutely, you can't touch anything. You know, it feels back in the day where I was in school, you know, in elementary school, they didn't have any air conditioning. You touched your paper and everything stuck to your arms and stuff. Everything you touch, I look like a Post-it note with all my papers and notes stuck to my arms here. It's so hot in here.
Yeah, and my hands are getting all sticky. Just one of those sticky nights here in the booth. We've got a little, we don't have a window that opens up, but we have a door underneath us that opens up. We slide our microphone so you can hear outside through that little window, and it doesn't provide a whole lot of breeze. If we open the door behind us, we can get cooled off, but that's open to a hallway with a lot of people in it and gets loud. So we sit here with our closed door and we sit in the sauna.
You take a look at it, though, I think the one thing that Western Illinois wanted to do was to come out and establish the ground game and, give credit to Valparaiso. They've given up a touchdown, given up one long drive, second possession here for Western Illinois. Only one possession for Western. They're leading the time of possession. If we had stats, we could tell you what they were. But, you take a look at that, and it's just one of those things that Western Illinois decided they're going to come out and control the control the ball game by running the ball, and they're doing it, but it's 3 yards a crack. They would, besides the big run by Holman and Zlonowski's 2 runs for 20 yards. Valparaiso is making it tough on that offensive line for Western Illinois.
Well, let's mention Landon Fox. He's the defensive coordinator here now at Western Illinois. Joe Davis brought him in after last season, and Landon was the head coach at Valpo and recruited probably a lot of these defensive guys, and he obviously knows a little bit about them and knows their talent. But he brought some good talent for a non-scholarship team to that school. Yeah,
the question asked to me this week was, would we have an advantage with having Coach Fox here know the defensive side? And I said, well, just as much as Valpo would have an advantage because he was their defensive coordinator as well as head coach last year. So it kind of evens out when it comes to that, and as you take a look at it.
They should know some of the things our defense is going to do, and certainly the Leatherneck should know some of the things that Valpo, both sides of the ball, are going to do based on Landon's time there. 3 wide receivers go out to the left. Markel Holman is set to the left side of Chris Irvin as Irvin waits to snap from James Duran. Fires it left for a little bubble screen through a low. Unable to come up with the catch is number 9, Tristan Duncan. It'll be 4th down and 4 for Western.
That's kind of like one of the plays I was describing in the first 2 games. That tunnel screen was there. Chris Irvin just didn't set his feet and throw a strike. He got in a hurry, got rid of the ball without getting set, getting his shoulders square. Now it's 4th down.
Well, Leatherneck's feeling they're in 4-down territory, going to go for it. Irvin is back out there. Made 1 hand clap and then stops, adjusts the play, looking over to the bench to get the call. Has 2 wide receivers each side, pretty tight to the formation. There he goes, straight back, fires a little out. Is caught by the tight end Lanier. 1st down, and Brandon dives forward to the 29-yard line of Valpo for the 1st down. The big man, Brandon Lanier. He is 245-pounder out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, really, I'll tell you, that play was made because Lanier ran a great route. He really pushed up the field like he was going to run a seam route, got to the 1st down marker, broke it off crisply. The ball was on time. 1st down, Leathernecks.
3 wide receivers go to the left, including Lanier. Holman goes out. They fake to Holman. Now they go back down to a wide-open receiver in the far side. It's Damari Davis diving for the end zone. Did he get there? Touchdown, Leathernecks! Oh, what a great fake. A pump fake by Chris Irvin. Brought the corner up, and then he threw it to a wide-open Damari. Touchdown.
Yeah, that was the play that we talked about against Illinois on 4th down in the first series that he missed. He went to the tight end, and he had the wheel out wide open in between in the hole shot there for cover 2. That time he saw him, pump faked it right there. Great effort by Damari Davis to find pay dirt. The refrigerator door was open. Walk in, pull yourself a cold one.
Leathernecks go up 13-0 with 14:18 to play in the first half. And Antonio Chata out to do the extra point kicking out of the hold of the backup punter, Rocco Federico, freshman out of Macomb, Michigan.
Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier our head men's and women's golf coach is from Macomb, Michigan as well.
From one Macomb to the other, the kick is good from Chata, and the Leathernecks take a 14-0 lead with 14:18 to play in the second quarter, and they've got the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage on the Leathernecks Sports Network.
From the farmer to the DIYer, the homeowner with a yard to mow to the landscaper with hundreds to mow, at Heritage Tractor, we're deeply committed to your unique needs. We're here for you, and we're here for the long haul. We're not just located here, but we're part of this place. Our John Deere equipment and highly trained staff empower you to turn dreams into reality. Whether it's tending to your fields, running a business, or enhancing your piece of paradise, in all the ways that matter, Heritage Tractor is here for you.
At Western Illinois University Catering by Sodexo, their mission is to create unforgettable events by exceeding your expectations with innovative cuisine, exceptional service, and creative presentations. In addition to large-scale events, Sodexo Catering offers a specialized menu to fit costs for a limited budget for student meetings, community organizations, and informal meetings. To plan your next event, please call event coordinator Catherine Akers at 309-298-1292. If you have any questions regarding their services, simply email catering@wiu.edu.
Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
Yep, we're doing radio. You betcha.
Announcer for this game here.
He's down that way. We're talking to the fans, having some fun here today.
Yep.
Hanson Field, Leatherneck's up 14-0 with 14:18 to go in the first half. And that was a good drive again by the Leathernecks, taking the touchback punt from the 20-yard line. 2 quick runs by Tanner Zolnowski, the backup quarterback, of 20 yards total. Set the ball at the 40. Leathernecks moved it down the field swiftly from there, and a touchdown to Damari Davis, ending the 80-yard drive. Leathernecks take that 2-touchdown lead. That is your Rich Weston Remax scoring drive recap. And if you,
I was just laughing at our fan interaction here. We go on the road. Last year we had a little tussle down at SEMO. This year we get fans stick their head in our mic window wanting to know if we were doing the announcing. So I don't know if he said something wrong, but it wasn't us.
I think she's probably looking for a pronunciation. It looks like one of the moms, perhaps. She was asking if we were the PA announcer. So our friend Dwayne down there doing the PA, sometimes these names are a little harder to pronounce than when he's doing a high school game here in Central Illinois, and he's used to seeing all those same surnames. Hey, I want to tell you about Buffalo Wild Wings. Thursdays are the new Fridays. Every Thursday, enjoy buy one, get one free boneless wings with B-dubs. Not valid with any other offers. Size exclusions may apply. While supplies last, limit one. Stop by Buffalo Wild Wings in Macomb. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody. Leathernecks up 14-0 with 14:18 to go in the first half. Coming up in the Hy-Vee halftime show, we'll interview Keely Wilcoxon, the president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, as part of the Ag Day celebration going on here today with Western Illinois football.
Yeah, really a great day. I have a great ag program here at Western Illinois. One of our forefront programs. You take a look at that, and so had a great turnout today by the ag community out in the parking lot for that, in combination with Family Day and Barbecue Cook-Off Day. It was really a great atmosphere out in the parking lot today.
Keely Wilcoxon told me her husband Delson, they both went to Western. They may have met here. She's not from this area. Delson grew up in Ipava, and he worked at Western Illinois in the ag department for 14 years. They farm, and they're raising a family, and we'll talk more about that with Keely. There's the kick from Antonio Chata. Halfway through the end zone, it bounds over the heads of the return men for Valpo, so they'll take the touchback and take the ball to the 25-yard line. Got to be impressed with the running game for the Leathernecks, not only with Holman, but with Zolnowski coming off the bench as the backup quarterback and saying, you know what, watch this, watch what I can do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Zolnowski's got some wheels now, and he's not afraid to take it down. And like I said, he really looked like he took the opportunity there to get as much as he can on the limited playing time he's going to get.
He did indeed do that. So we just had the touchdown and the kickoff, and now they're going to take a timeout again.
We'd like to thank a few of our
I don't know if they're running behind or what they are. But I'll tell you what, we'll do the same thing. Since the guy with the vest is on the field, we'll take a quick timeout and take care of some business, too. You're listening to the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
Tim Gould Farms in Henry County. He trusts Illinois Farm Bureau to have his back, and so can you.
Farm Bureau has a very large impact on local communities and on the state level. There's different avenues of communications, such as Farm Week, Ag Safety, Ag in the Classroom, scholarship programs, between and off the farm job, the farm, and family. My life without Farm Bureau would feel as though I'm on my own.
The Illinois Farm Bureau Advantage. Impactful advocacy, trusted information, and meaningful development.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Leathernecks football is on Q981FM.com.
The Leathernecks have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage 14-0 here midway through the first half, about 14-18 to go in the second quarter. You can have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage too. Talk to your local county farm bureau about how you can become a member and enjoy the benefits that you receive by being a Farm Bureau member. You don't have to be a producer or involved in ag to do that, but you can show your support for the ag industry, and it's a big one. It's a big part of Illinois and certainly a big part of the Midwest.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then gearing up to that time of year where harvest time is kicked off. Guys are in the field right now. Farmers are in the field right now, starting to get on the corn and those types of things. This dry weather is really promoting that early season pullout with not having a whole lot of drying time. So, let's see how quickly they can get after it.
And since we're talking about the Illinois Farm Bureau, I got a little Illinois Farm Bureau fun fact for you.
Uh-oh.
You love these, don't you?
I do.
Illinois pork producers produce 2.1 billion pounds of pork each year. And you brought me a pork chop that you made on the grill before the game, and it was fantastic.
I was say, we did, in honor of Ag Day today, we cooked pork.
Oh, fantastic. You know how many how many pork chops that 2.1 billion pounds of pork can produce? That's just pork chops. We're not talking about pork steak and brats and everything else.
No, you tell me.
6 billion.
There we go.
6 billion pork chops, which I could eat with the spotted hog seasoning on it all day, every day. Handoff on first down, sweeping to the right side for Valpo. It looks like they have possibly their backup running back in on that first play of the half. DeWyan McNeely, and he gains about 6. His name is just like the word Hawaiian, except it has a D in front. DeWyan.
Yeah, nice job by the right side of the offensive line that time by Valparaiso. Got the seal on the defensive end and is able to keep the middle linebacker from flowing out and picks up 6.
As you might expect, being from northwestern Indiana, not too far from Chicago, a lot of Illinois high school kids dot this roster for Valpo. It is 2nd down and 4 from the 31-yard line. They've moved the ball okay. They just haven't sustained anything in this first half against the Leathernecks. Now 2 guys in motion. Snap is fumbled by the quarterback, and he tries to make something happen and threw it right to a Leatherneck defender. Unfortunate play for Roman Keep. Just should have fell on it, but he tried to pitch it forward to the running back and instead into the hands of the Leathernecks. Coming up with the ball, very happy coming off the field, is linebacker Brock Sperling, a 230-pound freshman from Chicago. Is that correct? I'm trying to get my finger to work properly. He's a freshman from Chicago and makes the play, and he was excited coming out the field. They're going to review it? Well, the quarterback maybe had a knee down before he tries to shovel it forward.
Maybe,
right?
Yeah, or they might be trying to call it a forward pass.
Which in that case would be called incomplete, and it'll still be Valpo football, but that would be a bad break for the Leathernecks. Defense has been looking to pull off some turnovers. Almost got a huge one early in the game last week in Northwestern as Justin Richardson almost picked off one of the first passes of the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think if he makes the play, it's a pick 6. It changes, at least at that point, the momentum of the game is going to flip and maybe make Northwestern think about how they had played the previous week against Tulane when they had 5 turnovers. But, we've said this a number of times, when you go to undercut, you got to make the play. And it was you just came up a little short.
I think it almost went through his hands last week. He was that close to it. Catch was made. Receiver turned around with nobody behind him and made a bunch of yards out of that very same play. And Northwestern went on in to score to take a quick 7-0 lead. Imagine that. That's a 14-point swing in a matter of inches on that throw. And like you said, now the doubt starts to creep in. If he throws another pick after throwing 4 the previous week, that starts to get in your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's like, here we go again. And, we talked about that last year when, the Leathernecks were close in a few games and pulled a couple out, how important it is to get that positive momentum, because you want to be able to when you think back of all of the good things you've done, you got to have good things to look back to.
Yep. And there were some games last year, the wins were fantastic, but a couple of the losses that could have been wins, the resiliency, the continued effort, I think of the Lindenwood game when twice.
The quarterback's left knee was down on the ground with possession of the football. It'll be 2nd down at the 26-yard line.
All right, so 2nd down, he lost some yardage back to the 26, making it 3rd down and 9 from the 26. A big, long 3rd down again for Valpo, but at least they avoid the turnover. So the Leathernecks defense heads back on the field after almost getting that turnover. But I was just going to say, last year that Lindenwood game is a sign of the way Joe Davis wants his teams to play. They are never done playing football.
Yep, never going to quit.
2 wide receivers come out to the left. One is over between the numbers and the hash marks on the right, not very far off the hip of the right tackle. The quarterback, Keith, looks to the sideline for any adjustment to the play call. The lone setback is Michael Mansoray back in there. And now they're running low on the play clock down to about 8. He's finally going to step up with 5 on the clock. 3, 2, and he gets the snap off with 1 second left on the play clock, drops back, throws it too high for the intended receiver on the near side. That's number 9, Gundy. Gundy's only 5'7", 170 pounds, not too hard to overthrow him. But pressure real quick up the gut forced Keefe to get rid of that ball probably a step earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it was Gilroy again that comes off the edge. Esteban Gilroy comes off the edge that time and almost gets to Keefe, makes him throw the ball away, delivered a blow. Keefe just threw the ball over the receiver's head, nowhere to go with it, and Western Illinois gets a 3-and-out. Gotta love to hear that.
Another Domino's 3-and-out. Try the Domino's New York Style Pizza. Give them a call now or do it on the app, and it'll be there before the next touchdown. Maybe the way the Leathernecks are scoring. Partially blocked is the punt. They got a piece of it. It still went forward a little bit, but now everybody's surrounding the ball, waiting for it to drop to a stop. One of the Valpo guys thought about picking it up, and he does, and they blow the whistle.
Yeah, that's Western Illinois was circling the football. They need to get away from it because if they touch it, it's going to be considered a fumble. It'd be a change of possession there.
Can you pick it up and return it though?
You can pick it up and return it, but if you touch it and Valpo gets the ball, it's Valpo's ball, and so Western Illinois just needs to get away from the ball.
Second block kick of the year in 3 weeks for the Leathernecks. Blocked a field goal down at Illinois and come up. Did they also block an extra point maybe at Northwestern, or they're partially block one of those maybe? Might be the third block kick of the year. I might have missed one in my memory banks.
Yeah, I think we have 2.
2? All right. Timeout on the field. We'll keep it here. The ball will be at the 26-yard line of Valpo. Leathernecks have had 2 long drives of 84 and 80 yards, and now we'll only have to traverse 26 yards to pay dirt, as we have the Leathernecks leading 14-0 with still 12:42 to go in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, women's volleyball makes their home debut on Thursday.
Home debut for the volleyball team is coming up Thursday. They've been on the road playing in a tournament this week. Home soccer was announced and introduced here, the women's soccer team, and they have a home game this week. The soccer team's still playing. If you come to the games, they're still playing out the Northwest Field. There's been some issues with the main stadium field, and they're still working on that. I can tell you that all I know is it looks beautiful, but sometimes it doesn't drain well, and there's some wet spots on it.
And you're trying to figure out how does it get wet when we haven't had rain in 2 months. I mean, that's the question that needs to be answered. But
deer have been grazing. You know what they do, right?
Exactly.
No, I don't think they get inside the fence and graze on the soccer field, but I have seen a few deer out where the rugby pitch is on the northeast corner of the campus.
Yep.
I'm sure at the golf course you've seen a few animals running by.
There's a lot out there.
With the weather being so hot this week, we haven't been able to go fishing, but just earlier this summer we picked kind of a fairly cool Sunday, and my son caught a nice striped bass over at Spring Lake. Beautiful catch. Right off the dock, right off the main dock, right by the bait shack.
Yeah, there's a couple holes right off of there.
He just walked out there and threw it under the dock.
Tell you about.
You're going to tell me about them now? He might have found one of them.
No.
That was a beautiful fish, and it was a good time, and my grandson thought it was the greatest thing since sliced chicken, so what are you going to do?
That's right.
12:42 to the half here. Leatherneck offense, all units, first, second, and third teamers, all meeting with the coaching staff right around the 40-yard line. They go out on the field about 5-6 yards, gets all the guys on the bench a chance to stretch out the legs, get involved in the conversation, maybe even express an idea or two if they've spotted something. You want your guys to stay engaged at all times. Instead of just going over to the bench and taking a nap, you like to see them stay in the game.
Well, and especially on a day like today when it's so hot, I'm assuming, we've seen already a number of line changes on the defensive side of the football and on the offensive side of the football, different wide receivers getting in. And so you never know when your number is going to be called. So it is important to you to keep your mind in the game.
From pregame analysis to postgame celebration, stay connected with MTC and cheer on your Leathernecks to victory. Here we go, another drive, possession number 3. Leathernecks are 2 for 2 at putting it in the end zone with 12:42 left to go here in the first half. Chris Irvin barks out signals from the far hash mark. Looks left, now rolls right, throws it deep down the right side, looking for Damari Davis. He makes the catch, tried to dive into the end zone. He's going to come up a little bit short, Doc.
Yeah, I thought he might go to Holman underneath, but Davis broke open on a nice pattern, the ball's a little behind him, turns back, makes the catch, tries to dive in, gets only to the 2.
That was a tight window. Irvin had to fit it in between the inside and the outside defensive backs. Straight up the middle goes the running back. They're still pushing the pile. They're still pushing, and they're going to say short of touchdown yardage as Chris Irvin tried to sneak it in.
Western Illinois' version of the tush push. In that sense, Irvin does a quarterback sneak, and Holman tries to push him in from the running back position.
Irvin up under center again, has a big heavy formation right behind him, pushes it again towards the end zone. Brandon Lanier tries to help a little bit, but he doesn't need to, as Irvin dives into the end zone for a Leatherneck touchdown.
Yeah, open the refrigerator door, pour yourself a cold one. Western Illinois finds pay dirt.
Leathernecks with 11:52 to go here in the first half of play against the Valpo Beacons.
Nice job that time by Irvin. Everybody came down like they're going to do the tush push a little bit right over the center, and he just took a step back, went off right guard, dove into the end zone, almost untouched. Western Illinois scores again.
25-yard pass on the first play of the drive from Irvin to Damari Davis. Got it down to the 1, and it took him 2 plays to poke it in from there. So a 26-yard, 3-play drive. Extra point by Chada is good. And that's your Rich Weston Remax scoring drive recap as the Leathernecks go up 21-0 at home. 11:52 to play. Will we take a timeout?
Media timeout.
Media timeout. We'll be right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
Prairieland FS is a full-service agricultural supplier dedicated to providing high-quality products and services for the purpose of improving customer profitability. We're known for our customer service in and out of the fields. We are neighbors serving neighbors for over 100 years and promise to provide complete seed and application service to all our customers. Our trained energy specialists, along with our crop specialists, can help you take your business to the next level. Prairieland FS, your leading supplier of choice.
Pizza just goes better with Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Pizza.
Thank you. But don't take our word for it. In fact, don't take any words for it. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. The crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
You're listening to Leatherneck Sports on Q98.1, WILP-FM Cuba, Canton, Macomb, and on Q98.5, WLSB-FM Augusta, Plymouth, Bowen, the flagship stations of the Leatherneck Radio Network.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
Western Illinois has the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage, 21-0, with 11:52 to play in the first half as the officials converse over their communications devices and see if we're ready for the kickoff yet. And, over the years, football terminology has certainly changed. We've gone from things like the single wing and the T formation to the pro set to now we have the multiple set offense. And it used to be, back in the day, you had about 5 pass patterns. You could run a post, you could run an out, you could run a flag, you could run a slant. And now they've added so many new variations to that. And one of them that gets me confused when I'm watching games, Doc, and we'll talk about Doc's football term of the game right now, the dig route. What exactly does dig route mean? I mean, you can't dig into an artificial turf field, can you?
Yeah, so it's basically the old in route. So, when you talk about you run straight down the field, and then at a 90-degree angle, you cut back to your left to the middle of the field, or an out route 90 degrees south. So dig is usually down the middle of a streak at whatever you're going to do, and then a 90-degree left turn to the middle of the field. We used to call that an in route.
So I'm assuming that by the dig, they mean they want you to dig with your feet and act like you're going long.
Yep,
okay.
And then you stop and break it in at a 90.
Well, it's just a changed name of an old formation or an old route then, isn't it, kind of?
Yeah, you talk about, you used to have the veer offense and veer blocking, right? Well, the zone blocking is an offshoot of a little bit of that veer blocking type of stuff.
And the read option seems to be some of that veering away, too.
Yeah, so and that goes back to the old option that you used to see all the time.
Yep, and high school, we ran the wishbone for a few years, and that was the old Darrell Royal, the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas offense that was so devastating when run properly. Here's Chada's kick to the goal line. They're going to bring it out. Ricchetti coming to the near side. It's a long way across the field to try to get to the 20, and he does. Then he takes a hard hit at around the 25-yard line, and down he goes. The hit on the play made by linebacker Austin Young, who wrapped him up. And, yeah, we used to run that wishbone. There wasn't either hand it off to the fullback or you pulled it out, kept it or pitched it. It wasn't his read option. The only thing you read was that defensive end.
Right.
But a lot of times that particular formation led to a lot of fumbles, drop balls, turnovers, bad pitches.
Well,
and I think that's kind of why it went away.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. I think it was Woody Hayes said only 3 things can happen when you throw the ball. None of them are good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. From the 26-yard line, Valpo will start this possession. They have a new quarterback in the game. He fires it out to the right side, complete on first down. And it's short of first down yardage, but the new quarterback looked like number 11 on the offense, Johnny DeBlasio, a pure freshman out of Hilliard, Ohio. And a gain of 5 yards to the 31. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Boujou was on the tackle that time. Nice one-on-one tackle. He had him man-to-man, came out of all the way out of a safety position to come up and make that play.
DeBlasio, or it could be DeBlasio. Not expected on the depth chart to be one of the performers tonight, but here he is. Throws a pass, a nice catch by Ricchetti, who stretches the arms out and gets a first down at the 39-yard line for Valpo. And they want to come right up to the line of scrimmage and try to move the ball. Still 10:58, clock running in the first half.
Yeah, nice little spark to the offense. New quarterbacks again. That was just a little seamer out. Really a nice throw. Pretty good coverage there by Washington, I think it was, or Gilroy. Couldn't see the number on the play, but really a great catch.
They really hurt Valpo with the spot. I thought he was to the 39. They put it back at the 38. 1st and 10 from there. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Tight end comes across the formation and resets. Now he sends a man in motion. He'll circle behind the quarterback, stop, turn, go back the other way, and get a quick out. And get hit hard. And did he go down or did he stay on his feet? What a play by Esteban Guillory coming up again to make the hit. The wide receiver spun around, tried to keep his footing, but I think the knee hit. They'll mark him down for a 2-yard loss at the 36.
Yeah, Guillory really read that extremely well and beat it was his little zone. It was a little one-man screen out there to the running back, and he just blew it up, ran right through the blocker, made a big hit. Didn't wrap him up, but did enough for another tackle for a loss for Western Illinois.
2nd down and 12. Valpo, when they move the ball, has stayed out of these long yardage behind the chain situations. Man in motion goes behind the quarterback. He will hand it off. Running back trying to come to the outside. Will lose yardage. Bursting through, Christian Pierce. The senior captain makes a big stop and another loss of about 3 yards back to the 32. About a 4-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 16.
Yeah, nice job by Christian Pierce. Read that extremely well and no hesitation. Once he saw where the play was going, he just exploded through the line. Made a great one-on-one tackle. It's 3rd and long for the Western Illinois defense.
You know, there's nothing Coach Landon Fox wants more than a shutout against his old team, right? That's how coaches think, right?
No doubt.
Blasio sends a man in motion, empties the backfield, looks to his right, comes back to his left to try to set up the screen. First man makes the hit, doesn't come up with the tackle. Now there's 2 guys converging. They had a lot of yards to make, and they didn't make it all. They made it up to the 42, got about half of those 16 back as Leatherneck's got a couple of helmets to the football, and the big guy comes all the way from the inside, Keyshawn Harrington McKinney, to wrap up the pile at the end and knock it over.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those plays where, you know, Western Illinois is trying to make a turnover, trying to rip it out, but they gave up an extra 10 yards. If they just tackle the guy, I actually thought Valpo was going to stay on the field and trying to pick up the first down because they had got it into like 4th and 7, but Valpo's punt team's on the field again.
Nate Hillenberg is their junior punter. Long snapper, great name for a long snapper, Ace McInnes. Look at how big he is, Doc. He's 5'6" and 160 pounds. The long snapper, just a tiny fella. The kick goes to Anaya, fumbles it, goes back to pick it up at his 25, and then gives up some yards trying to turn it around. But he does make a good, clean pickup after he bobbled the initial catch, and it's back to the 15. One of the things that the coaching staff likes about Christian back there is very consistent. There's a flag down back at the 39-yard line of the Leathernecks, but Christian has been very consistent on his punt returns. That's the first time we've seen him even come close to a bobble.
Yeah, I think he got caught looking upfield to see where the seam was and dropped the ball, then tried to make up for it by turning around and lost a few more yards, and looks like we're going to have a typical special teams penalty on this call.
During the return, holding, return team number 12. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Western Illinois.
So they'll mark off the penalty from the end of the return, and the Leathernecks will start. We'll see where they put it down. And because of all of the double numbers. I can't tell you who made that penalty. Could have been the defensive number 12 or the offensive number 12. So somebody number 12 for the Leathernecks.
And it's been a pretty much penalty-free game here. You can't. We don't. Again, sorry for the lack of stats, but we don't have any stats so far. So our live stat feed is not working here in the press box.
Well, they gave the Leathernecks the 20-yard line, but it was actually the 15 that Anaya got tackled. I would have put the ball between the 7 and the 8, but they're going to give them the 10 on the half the distance. So the Leathernecks will start from their 10-yard line, a little bit of a 3 or 4 yard break right there, I think. 8:08 to play in the first half. Leathernecks up 21-0, have gone 3 for 3. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, 84 yards, 80 yards, and a shorter one of 26 after they blocked a punt. Now the officials blow the whistle, and they're communicating with upstairs, I do believe.
With the 15-yard line, the holding penalty being enforced half the distance, first down.
They didn't hear me, did they?
I think they did.
Somebody called down and said that it was the 15 and not the 20, and now they moved the ball back to the 7 where it's supposed to be.
Way to go, BJ.
Yeah,
we had a few extra yards.
Yeah, well, that's on me. Who's standing outside the door? We got a spy. From the 7-yard line, Urban moves Holman from right to left behind him, steps back and fires deep down the right sideline. Davis behind the defense. He is jostled and a flag flies as Damari tried to come back and get the ball. That's going to be an interference penalty against Valpo. Really, the only choice that the cornerback had was to put his arms up. Almost a face guarding situation where he didn't turn around to the ball, and then he got his arms on Damari. And number 3, one of the safeties for Valpo, Mark Johnson, comes up with the penalty in college ball. They go back to the line of scrimmage, mark it off 15 instead of the big 40-yard penalty would have been in the pros. So it'll be at the 22.5 first down for the Leathernecks from there.
Yeah, and face guarding doesn't exist anymore. And that play the ball was underthrown, and Damari Davis turned around to get the ball, and the defender was in pretty good position. He just ran him over.
Yep. Bear fans upset about that last week. Markel Holman busts 2 tackles, gets out over the 35 to the 37 for a first down.
Yeah, nice patient running there by Holman. It was kind of one of those delayed plays there, and now we have a Western Illinois offensive lineman down on the field.
Looks like Dagan Miller slow to get up, and he tried to get up and stand up. Now he goes right back down. He might be cramping up a little bit. Cramps can sometimes make you look like you have no ability to walk, and you've forgotten how. And he tried to stand up and then went back down, and there's a timeout on the field, and they haven't whistled for a full timeout yet. But
so you should be old enough to remember when athletic trainers gave you salt pills before games.
Yep.
You know,
salt pills,
pickle juice, anything to keep the
salt pills kind of tasted good.
Hey, we don't give those anymore. Salt pills aren't given anymore. But
really, why? What's wrong with them?
Too much salt.
Oh, well, a little sodium never hurt the body. Yeah, we used to get the salt pills, and we'd have a few warm games up in Minnesota, but we also would play the second half of the season in freezing or below freezing temperatures, and sometimes with a foot of snow on the field, too. Dagan Miller is up, and he's walking off under his own power with no assistance, and he's walking ahead of the trainers and leaving them in his dust. He's a tough kid, named one of these captains by his teammates, always an honor. He's 6'4", 330, and a senior. Dagan comes to Western and becomes a student athlete from his hometown of Bellwood, Illinois. All right, replacement made. It's Dylan Legy back in at the left guard spot. Leathernecks with 2 wide receivers split way outside beyond the hash mark to the left. One down here past the numbers on the right. There's a handoff up inside. Looked like Brinston Williams was back in the lineup. Nope, it's Holman.
Holman with a really nice job on the right-hand side in terms of getting forward progress there. Kind of ran through 2 guys and picked up 6.
Fowler on the
second down and 4 at the 43. Ball should get to the 47 for the first down. And the Leathernecks come up with 2 wideouts again to the left, 1 to the right. Irvin will turn, hand off. Holman bounces it to the outside, gets wrapped up right around the face mask, but nobody did actually grab the face mask. Just had him around the collar, and he gains about 1. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Yes, tried to go back to that little delay where they pull the backside guard and tackle and try to follow him around. Valparaiso does a nice job of getting penetration and no movement by the offensive line that time for Western Illinois, and he only picks up 1. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Big play here for Western Illinois, trying to keep the punter off the field.
Haven't seen the punter yet. It's one of those nights where you just as soon not see the punter at any given time. And Irvin pops up the middle, got the first down, and he gets midfield as well into Valpo territory at about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you like to see out of Chris Irvin. That time, Western Illinois had 2 receivers medium and 2 deep out of the 4 receivers set, and he stepped up like he was going to throw it, but he saw the middle of the field. Very decisive in that run that time. He looked much better, picks up the first down. Western moves the chains.
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Irvin will roll right. Pressure coming, throws back against the grain. Damari Davis, again, his favorite receiver. Damari makes a great catch as the safety got there at the last second trying to deflect it away. Damari said, no, these hands are going to just grab it and squeeze it. First down, 16-yard line of Valpo, and the Leathernecks are back in the red zone once again, thanks to the sure-handedness of Damari Davis.
Yeah, great catch because the safety came back over the top, thought he was going to knock it down because the ball was in the air forever. Davis goes back for the football, reaches up with both hands and pulls it in.
First down, Western.
Give it back to Holman again, going off the right side. And again, he's getting 3 yards. He's probably averaging anywhere from, well, besides the big 30-yard run, he's probably averaging a little over 4 yards per carry tonight.
So they mark it back at the 20, give him 2 yards, and 2nd down and 8, just inside the 20. Irvin will bring Alex Williams closer to him, then step back in the pocket, throw it to Holman out of the backfield, dodges a man at the 5, wrapped up at the 2, pulls the pile forward, touchdown, Markel Holman.
Markel Holman, all his own. I think Lanier came in there and gave him a little push to open the refrigerator door and pull out a cold one. Western Illinois paid it again.
Better give me your keys after all these refrigerator doors are opening up. 27-0.
Trying to stay refreshed here in the press box.
Their 3rd drive of over 80 yards. This one started back at the 7.5, 93 yards on the drive for the Leathernecks. We don't have the exact number of plays. The big ones, of course, both to Damari Davis, the interference penalty, and then later the big catch for 30-plus yards down the far side of the field. Antonio Chad is out for the extra point, and Markel Holman has just taken it in after catching the pass from 20 yards out. A touchdown pass for Chris Irvin. The extra point from Chada is perfect, and the Leathernecks lead it 28-0 after that 93-yard drive. That's your Rich Weston Remax scoring drive recap. 4:40 to go in the first half, and it's all Western Illinois. 28-0.
Yeah, I can't say what a great catch that Damari Davis made on that play. He was wide open, but Irvin had rolled to his right. It was a planned throwback against cover 2, and he ran back across the face of the safety and had gotten a lot of separation, but Irvin just threw the ball 70 yards in the air, and it was in the air a long time, and Damari Davis goes back for the football and goes up and gets it with 2 hands. If he waits for it, the defender probably knocks it down, but a really nice catch.
And you teach your receivers, come back to the ball and get it. That doesn't always mean coming back upfield. It means going to where the ball is and securing it.
Yeah, they call it high pointing the football. You got to go up and get it at its highest point and win that one-on-one battle.
So no timeout here between the touchdown and the kickoff. Leatherneck kicking team on the field, and Antonio Chada sets it up on the far hash mark at the 35, and it's Western 28-0 over a Valpo team that defensively can't stop Western Illinois at this point. 4 touchdowns and 4 possessions, and 4 times the refrigerator door has been open at Doc's house. The kick into the end zone, and they'll bring it out from 1 yard deep. Ricchetti up the right side. Valpo feeling that if they can get a breakaway on the kickoff might be their best bet right now offensively. Ricchetti able to get it out over the 20 to about the 23. If you take the kick and the fair catch, you get the ball at 25. That's a chance you take.
You know, I'm a big believer taking the ball at the 25.
I know you are.
Just take the ball at the 25.
It's hard to make it to the 25 from in the end zone. Back in the days when it was placed at the 20, this would be an advantage.
This would be an advantage.
I don't know if coaches are fully adjusted to that yet. I thought it was interesting in the Bears-Vikings game Monday night. The receiver had time to look after he made the catch 7 yards deep with 2 minutes left, looked to his right to the bench, and saw the coach for the Vikings wave him out, and he came out of the end zone with it. How do you do that? There's so much awareness they discussed it before he went out there.
Right. The kicking game has changed so much in the NFL. You kick it in the end zone, and it comes out to the 35. So
if you don't bring it out,
if you don't bring it out. So now the kickers are kicking it really, really high, almost like a punt to keep it down, in that area. I think it's between the 10-yard line and end zone. And so you have a little more time to survey the field, and nobody can go till you catch the ball.
3-yard run, 2nd down and 7 for Valpo here in this possession. They're 5th of the game, 4 minutes left in the first half. 2 wide receivers are wide to the left, 1 to the right. De Blasio is in and quarterback again. And I don't know if they made a change due to injury or just ineffectiveness in that starting quarterback spot, but giving the young man a chance to play. And he hands off up inside. And Manzarek gets about 2. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Yeah, the kicking game has changed a lot more in the NFL than it has in the college ranks. Plus, years ago, to benefit the offense, they moved its hash marks into the goalpost instead of outside, which got rid of the wide-angle field goal.
Well, and, I don't know if a lot of people know, but they have a special kicking ball and a special punting ball. So you have special balls for punts and kicks.
As Al Michaels said the other night, a 55-yard field goal is a chip shot anymore in the NFL. It's crazy. All right, back to pass. Blasio, flushed. There's a flag on the field. Came in the defensive backfield. Might be a hold against the Leathernecks back here. Blasio got enough for the first down on the scramble up to near the 40-yard line, but what is the flag for? We shall see.
Tyler on the carry. There's a flag on the play.
Can't really tell. No team is moving, so nobody's really raising their hand and said, I committed that foul. We'll see what happens. De Blasio did pick up enough for the first down. Unfortunately for Western, they're not able to bring him down. He did a really nice job of breaking the pocket.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 12. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Oh, that's the worst kind. They give him the run for the first down, then add 15 at the end because of the face mask against one of the receivers heading downfield as they were hand battling.
Yeah, that'd be, in the NFL, that's hands to the face. That's what they would call that one. It'd be a 5-yarder, but an automatic.
A tight set this time for Valpo. They have a tight end and a receiver right behind him on the left side. 2 wide receivers, medium split to the right out to the numbers. The ball's in the far hash mark. This wide side of the field wide open. The quarterback looks inside, tries to make something happen, takes a hit, goes down after a short gain.
Ron Tyler on the carry.
Tyler, they're calling as a quarterback. I've got number 11 as Johnny De Blasio, a quarterback. The other quarterbacks are Marcus Brown, number 10, Rowan Keefe, number 2, and number 19, Isaiah Stevens. And there's no 11 on the Leathernecks roster, so I'm confused as what the PA has that we don't have.
Well, I was trying to make sure it was number 11. My glasses are fogging up. It's so hot in here. It's hard to see.
It's definitely 11. There's 2:22 to play. A timeout has been taken.
Western Illinois with the timeout. So coach is wanting to get a stop and getting the ball back again. He wants to put the pedal down.
And plus, there'll be the 2-minute timeout, which is now a staple in the college game as well as the pro game. So he stops it before we get there. With 2:22 to play and a 2nd and 9 for Valpo at the Leatherneck 49. Uncheck the roster that's listed inside the game program tonight. That's Johnny De Blasio, number 11, freshman out of Hilliard, Ohio. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't see a Tyler on their roster.
Is there an 11 on defense?
The 11 on defense is DeAndre Wilburn, a starting defensive lineman.
Well, so that's not him.
Karan Tyler is quarterback number 1. He is listed as the backup in the 2 deep, but that quarterback is definitely wearing number 11. So did they change the number for the backup quarterback? I'm guessing they did. Well, let's see. Tyler is listed at 5'10", 190, and De Blasio is listed at 6'1", 175. Would you say that's 5'10" or 6'1"?
5'10".
That's Tyler then. and he's wearing the wrong number. That should be a penalty. All right, so we'll say Tyler has it. He rolls to the right. He's got some room. He's got a first down and more. 45-30, almost to the 25 before being wrestled out of bounds by Jalen Olakun. Nope, check that. It was Malini Tia, number 33 on the stop for the Leathernecks. But a big first down for Valpo, and the clock runs with 2:12. Will they run a play before the 2-minute timeout? This is the deepest they've been in Leatherneck territory, I do believe, at the 28 or close to it. And Leatherneck defense doesn't want to give anything up here after this great first half they've played to this point. We do get down to the 2-minute timeout, and there will be a media timeout on the field, so we'll go back to the studios as well. You can hear from some of our wonderful sponsors. Leathernecks lead at 28-0 at the 2-minute timeout near the end of the first half. You're listening to the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
McDonough District Hospital's drive-thru is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday 9 a.m. to noon. If you need laboratory blood draws performed and you have a doctor's order but have a high deductible insurance plan or no insurance, MDH now offers discounted prices for self-paid lab tests to better meet the needs of our patients. And you can stay inside your vehicle to have your tests done. Reduce your financial worry and prioritize your health. Log on to mdh.org for more information.
Personalization from an ag lender starts with a trusted advisor, a true partner who asks questions to determine the right financing options for your operation and cash flow needs, and says you belong here. You'll always find that above and beyond service from Compeer Financial. Compeer Financial, here for you. Contact your local Compeer Financial team at 844-426-6733 or visit Compeer.com today. Compeer Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
Your home for WIU Sports, Q98.1.
Leathernecks rolling it home with the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage 28-0 over Valpo. 2 minutes to play in the first half, but Valpo trying to get on the board before halftime. Leathernecks will get the kick to start half number 2.
My Golden Corral 2-for-1 special here, so I know that's what Coach Davis was thinking about when he called timeout before the 2-minute timeout. He was like, if we get a stop here and get the ball back, we're going to have an opportunity to score before half and then get the ball back and score again.
This coaching staff for the Leathernecks, really, Joe's built a very nice staff and a nice mix of guys who returned from last year and a couple of new fellows fitting in, and all personable guys, all very worried about the GPA, the classroom stuff. You hear it all the time. You go to class today and a pat on the back of the player and how'd that test go for you? And that's what you want to see. I know people think we're being, overly worried about the educational part, but that's still why they come here, is to get an education.
Well, yeah, you come
and
here.
The chances of a good education are better than a chance of going to the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you take a look at it, get the whole university experience and grow and become a better person coming out of it. That's what it's really all about.
And how many people say they wish they could go back to college because it was the best years of their life? 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for Valpo, the 28-yard line of Western. Tyler will fire. It's complete, and then the ball pops loose. That receiver had that ball long enough, and it was popped out of there. Did the Leathernecks fall on it? The official says they do. And it should be a turnover and Leatherneck ball at the 19-yard line. The catch was made around the 15, and I don't know who it was that poked it out.
Recovered by the offense, second down.
Well, recovered by Valpo, 2nd down and 1 at the 19. It rolled back about 4 yards. Why was that guy pointing towards Western?
Right. Down and 1.
She got all excited. The defense didn't jump up.
No, defense knew they
back to their position.
Yep.
So.
Defense knew they didn't have it.
2nd down, 1 to go. Cornerback or the safety coming up looking like he might be blitzing. Tyler goes the other way with the ball and loses a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. Leathernecks have not allowed a 3rd down conversion yet, and they'll take a timeout here with 1:27 to play in the half to try to force a 4th down. Good pursuit on the outside, on the far side of the field by the Leatherneck defense. Looked like Christian Pierce was over on that side.
Yeah, really nice job. They did run the read option again that play. Western Illinois had both their running back and quarterback covered for a nice tackle for loss for 1.
1-2-8.
So it's 30-second timeout while both teams retreat to their sideline to visit with the coaching staff. What is Valpo going to dial up here on 3rd down and 3? Wow, they got a bad spot on that play. Again, we usually are quite vocal about the spots against the Leathernecks, but tonight,
Leathernecks are getting a little homey advantage tonight.
I got to be honest when it's happening, right?
That's right.
It's a 2-yard. I thought he made it to the 19. They got him down to 21. Third down and 3. Must have been the knee down as he was trying to stretch for extra yards. Overall, it's been, as you mentioned earlier, a pretty much penalty-free game for the most part. Both teams with, 3 or less tops?
Yeah, I think there's under 5 total for the game.
So here comes Valpo on third down and 3 at the Letterneck 21, trying to spread the defense out. Letterneck's doing a lot of pointing. 2 wide receivers split wide to the left. Now one goes to the right. Chicala Warden follows him, so it looks like the next may be in man-to-man coverage, at least in the backfield. They bring him into a tight formation, trying to make a run to the right side. Letterneck say, no gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down and 3. The ball carrier had nowhere to go right there. That was Michael Manzare. And the Letternecks hope to force Valpo into a field goal try, but another timeout has been taken.
That's our last of the half. 30 seconds and wait. Clock operator, please put 120 on the game clock. 120.
120 on the game clock. They're going to add 2 seconds to it. Now, I'm trying to, is it 0 timeouts on the Letterneck side of the ball?
0 timeouts, because he took the one right before the 2-minute timeout, and then took the one on the previous play, and then took this one. So he's out.
And you know what? Even though it's a 28-0 lead, and nobody's ever secure in this game anymore, as fast as people can put points on the board. Plus, I'm sure Joe would like to see the 2-minute offense in action. And he'll do it with no timeouts if they do get it. It'll be 4th down and about 3 from the 21. It would be a 38 or 39-yard field goal from here. In the warm-ups in the pregame, the kicker for Valpo was kicking him long enough from 45, but having trouble keeping him between the uprights. He's out there now. That field goal kicker for Valpo is Luke Scoma, a redshirt freshman, 5'10", 170-pounder. And he will try a 38-yard field goal here. Late in the half, it's on the way, and it is good. He got it through the uprights, and Valpo's on the board. So the Beacon score 28-3. Your score now, and they'll go straight to the kickoff, and we'll keep it here. And, Doc, there goes the dreams of a shutout, but I think the shutout is one of the rarest things left in football.
Yeah, I mean, offenses and being a kind of an old defensive guy, the rules have changed for the offense to score points, right? And that play was really picked up because they got the first down and the big 15-yard penalty on top of the first down on the face mask penalty, which moved them down there. Give credit to the Western Illinois defense. After that, they held them. They were in field goal range, didn't give up any yards, and held them to the field goal. So, that's a win for the Western Illinois defense right there.
Did that several times last week against Northwestern.
Yeah. Like I said last week, I was really impressed with the defense when they had those 6 consecutive stops.
A lot of trouble getting off the field last year in key spots. Better towards the end of the year. You could see some improvement coming, and you're really seeing some good improvement here under new defensive coordinator Landon Fox, and he's got the guys playing. I went to the football.
Yeah, Christian Pierce, I think, has made a big difference.
He has.
Coming down from safety to outside linebacker, really worked hard in the weight room all summer and in the fall to get big enough to play out there, and he's really been a difference maker at that position.
Well, Christian at 220 and Guillory at about 200, there's a kick deep into the end zone. Chicala Warden will take a knee. It'll be a touchback to the 25. You could really make the case that Washington at 230 is the only true linebacker-sized linebacker in the starting lineup, and the Letternecks are playing with essentially 6 defensive backs, 2 of them who just happen to be very strong and can play linebacker. Yeah. So it's kind of an advantage to be able to play a nickel without having to bring in a nickel.
Well, and they all can run. Last year, we were really impressed with Williams when he got into the game, at middle linebacker as a freshman. He got in, was going side to sideline, did that, but he doesn't have to do that as much because he has Guillory and Pierce there with him as well. So they're able to run and cover out of the backfield where last year we're lacking in that situation.
From the 25, Letterneck offense has 114, but no timeouts. And Irvin is back. He fires to the sideline. Catch is made. Baez gets out of bounds, stops the clock. First down at the 38-yard line. Nice catch and awareness by Fabian Baez, the junior receiver, to get out. Yeah, young man from Chicago moves the chains for the Letternecks.
Yeah, nice job by Irvin. Kind of got pushed out of the pocket, rolled right through the ball where nobody else could catch it. Baez makes sure he's got both feet in, and Western Illinois picks up the first down.
That only used 6 seconds. 1:08 to play in the half. Letternecks up 28-3, looking for more. Irvin flushed forward in the pocket, trying to get to the sideline. He does. They'll stop the clock, but very little gain, if any, as he was flushed out of the pocket and brought down eventually by DeAndre Wilborn, 225-pound redshirt senior lineman out of Chicago.
I think he was able to get 1 yard on the play. Good coverage on the back end by Valparaiso. Nowhere to go. Western Illinois having a hard time on some of these mid level routes to find open points in their zone.
2 wide receivers go wide to the left outside the hash marks, and 1 wide receiver here in the numbers on the right side is Davis. Or check that, it's not Davis. Davis is on the other side going down the middle, and he just can't come up with that one around the 20-yard line as Irvin heaved the long ball about 50 yards downfield, and Damari just about got a hand on it.
Yeah, just not quite enough error on it. Really a nice ball by Irvin, just a half a yard too far. I thought Damari was going to lay out and get it. He tried to get it off the last step, went off the end of his fingers, not able to make the catch, but Damari has been able to get open deep against this Valparaiso zone.
Still got to find some other guys to make a lot of catches, take some of the heat off Damari before we get into conference season and he starts seeing double teams every time. But he's a weapon. Damari Davis having a good year. 3 wide receivers right now, 2 as Alex Williams goes in motion across the formation. 2 wide receivers each side. Irvin, slant pattern, looking for Williams, led him too far. He tried to get the left paw on it and wrap it up with one hand, but he couldn't. 4th and 9 Western from the 40-yard line, 39-yard line. So they get 1 first down trying to run the 2-minute offense, but can't come up with any more. And with 52.7 seconds on the clock, Valpo's going to get it back. And that's where the 3 timeouts used up to get your offense the ball can come back and backfire. Now it's up to the defense to make a stop.
Yeah, and again, he had him open, just kind of misfired on the throw. Williams kind of did a little alligator arm there on that play, trying to make sure he didn't get lit up the ball. He was led in the middle a little bit, and so not able to make the play, and we see the first punt from Western Illinois.
And it's Rodrigo who makes the punt, the backup punter.
First and 10, Valparaiso at 3.
And looks like Peyton Bradford. You don't want to see that. He's on the punt team for coverage purposes. Number 9, the big defensive end, the senior captain for the Leathernecks. He is down back at the Leatherneck 30. The punt was downed at the 31 after it rolled dead, checked at the 26-yard line of Valpo. But Peyton, I don't know if he was cramping up or what. We hope it's just cramps. But he went down after the play. The referee kind of walked over him. I thought it was the punter, and I thought, well, if he's laying on the ground, he's in pain. Maybe he got roughing the kicker, but it was not the kicker. So, they don't take immediate, but they do take a short injury timeout here for the Leathernecks captain, Peyton Bradford. Now, the officials got some water. I don't know if they're going to make it a full timeout or not, but Mr. Vest is not on the field. He's the important guy for us to watch, folks. He's got the vest. Some of the Big Ten stadiums have a guy with a little clock on a stick. He'll come out there and tell you exactly how much time you got left in timeout. Our first fly in the booth. Peyton's up, and he's got that characteristic cramp limp when you come off the field, and the right leg just doesn't want to bend the way you want it to. Hope it's not anything else other than that. We'll check to see if he comes out early in the second half. He did fling his helmet to the ground because that stuff hurts. I cramped up after a bootleg run at quarterback. I thought I was so cool running in the end zone that I couldn't walk. I had to come out of the end zone, pick me up, carry me to the bench. I think it was in 10th grade. I don't need any water. I'm in 10th grade. I'm good. Yeah. My calf disagreed. First down, Valpo, 26-yard line. 1 wide receiver left, 2 to the right. Pass is way outside and thrown away on the right side. Is not able to make that play the way he wanted to was the quarterback, Ron Tyler, who we have discussed is listed as number 1 and is wearing number 11, and they told apparently the PA, didn't tell us. So, did you ever cramp up during a football game?
Oh, yeah, double. Scored a touchdown.
Both legs at the same time?
Both legs scored at the same time. Scored a touchdown, couldn't get out.
Down like a shot, didn't you?
Couldn't stand up.
It's an awful feeling. That and getting the wind knocked out of you. Second down and 10. After the incompletion, clock stopped at 37.2. Do we have a flag from the sideline, or what do we have?
Looked like off defensive lineman for Western Illinois jump, but I didn't. The official on this side, it was the right defensive tackle. Can't see the number right now, who it is, and looked like he jumped outside. And
well, they're not calling anything now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I read in the rules now you can not even go outside and still get penalized for simulating the start of your of your rush.
Defense, number 97, called the offensive player to move. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So, in other words, like jumping from your right to your left can cause you to get a penalty if you induce a lineman to move.
Yeah, so you can move, you can do your normal shift move, but you can't simulate like calling a stem like offensive lineman. You can't use vocabulary when you do that. But yes, I think that was a point of emphasis. He moved forward, never crossed the line, but they said it caused the offensive lineman to move.
2nd and 5, handoff goes to Manzaray, tries to get to the outside, and he does. He's got the first down flag behind the play, and the Leatherneck player is down. I think we're going to, that flag is in the area of holding.
Holding or illegal crackback block, because I think it was on the defender that's on the ground.
Here comes our official to tell us what happened. We believe.
Kia on the stop for the Leatherneck. Holding. Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
All right, that'll make it 2nd, and from the spot of the foul, somewhere between 15 and 18 yards after they mark it off.
40 seconds on the play clock.
And they want to put 40 seconds on the clock. It was 37.2 when the play started, my man. 29.2 on the clock now.
This is the quarter that wouldn't end.
Yeah. What time is it, midnight?
Holy cow.
So with the mark off, the ball goes all the way back down to the 21-yard line. And that'll mean a 2nd down and 15 for Valpo. The player slow to get up, DJ Taylor, but he walks off under his own power, and it might have been cramping once again. Clock still says 29.2. So much goes into putting on one game of college football, folks. It's quite amazing. We talked about the semi-travel with Paul Bubb a couple of weeks ago, how much information travels in that semi, how much equipment, and how that job is done on road games. At home games, you've got to have staff everywhere, from running the scoreboard to the PA announcer to putting up the ads in the scoreboard to the communication between the field and the press boxes. It's just a lot of things involved. It's not just turn on the lights, let's play ball.
Well, yeah, and when you have turnover in your staff, you come in new, you make assumptions that things are going to be there, like you have a printer or those types of things. You get there, it's like, is there a printer in your booth? No, somebody forgot to bring the printer up from the office, those types of things. And so those are the little things that you get worked out in game one.
And you're glad it's not a conference matchup in game one, and you're going to have an opposing radio crew jumping down your throat. The home radio crew, we don't, we're very casual. We would never let them know we don't have stats.
No, we don't have stats today.
Well, now they're sending both teams off the field to the locker room because they start the clock, and Valpo not interested in coming back out and running a play. They're just going to take it to the locker room. So that's going to be the halftime score. 28-3 in favor of Western Illinois. A big lead for the Leathernecks at the half. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Hy-Vee halftime show. You're listening to Leatherneck Football on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
When it comes to your farm, you need more than just products. You need a trusted partner who understands your challenges. At West Central FS, they're here to support you season after season. From high-quality seeds to crop protection and custom application services, they ensure your fields get what they need to thrive. Plus, they provide diesel fuel, lubricants, and reliable propane to keep your equipment running smoothly. West Central FS, your partner in growing success. Contact them today.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
Domino's Best Deal Ever is back. Get any hand-tossed pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Last time, people got exactly what they wanted.
Pan pizza with barbecue sauce, mushrooms, and black olives.
Philly steak, extra cheese.
Chicken, bacon, onions, jalapenos.
This got to be the best deal ever.
So what are you going to get this time? Order Domino's $9.99 Best Deal Ever before it's gone. Prices higher for some locations, online only for a limited time. Excludes XL and specialty. Parm stuffed crust is extra. Topping limit supply. Visit Domino's.com for full details.
When it comes to your health care, time matters. McDonough District Hospital Convenience Clinic in Macomb offers treatment for minor injury or illness for walk-in patients 18 months and older inside Health Services Building 2 at 515 East Grant Street, 7 days a week. For more information, visit mdh.org. Blue Cross Blue Shield and most insurance plans are accepted. McDonough District Hospital, your community healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day at my career, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond if my community ever needs me. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
Your home for WIU Sports, Q98.1.
Okay. We're at the Hy-Vee halftime show brought to you by your friendly neighborhood Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile on every aisle. Make sure that you get your Hy-Vee Perks card, save money on gas, groceries, and more at Hy-Vee. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody at Hanson Field, season opener, season number 76 at the venerable Hanson Field here in the campus of Western Illinois University. It is Ag Day. Our new sponsor, of course, for the entire network is the Illinois Farm Bureau, and the president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau has joined us here at halftime, Keely Wilcoxon, with a little one that's fallen asleep here at the half.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the name of that one?
This is Roger.
Roger is sleepy.
Roger is sleeping. Hopefully, our oldest is asleep in the car.
There you go. So, Keely, tell us a little bit about yourself. I did mention to the folks that even though you were the Fulton County president, your residence outside of Ipava is actually closer to Macomb than it would be to, say, like Lewistown or Canton, right?
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. And your husband is?
Delson Wilcoxon.
And he's been farming around Ipava for a while.
Yep, his whole life. His family settled there, and they've all farmed their lifetime, and now we took it over.
Now, you both went to Western. Did you meet here?
Yes. He was an 08 grad, and then he worked at the University Farm until last fall.
Mm-hmm.
And I graduated in 18 and met through some of the school stuff. And
that's awesome.
Just sparked from there.
Now, you came up from a little bit further south in Illinois from, say it for me, Piazza?
Piazza. Yeah.
That's one of those tough ones, but your high school's not called Piazza. It's like Southwestern.
It is.
I'm okay. I'm trying to stay on top of this. I called high school sports.
You did good. Yes.
So what attracted you to becoming involved in the Farm Bureau and eventually becoming elected president?
My husband, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, we were coming home one day and we were talking about Farm Bureau, and I was talking about Collegiate Farm Bureau here at Western, and I was in it, and we were talking about membership, and he's like, "You want to go to a meeting?" I said, "Sure." Showed up to a meeting, and a few months later, they had an open spot, asked me to sit on, and history. I guess.
Now you're the president.
I am. I'm actually the first female president in Fulton County.
Well, congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Elaine Stone, good friend of mine, is the manager of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, and she said you're just an outstanding bright light in the agricultural community.
Thank you.
And she is so excited to have you on board as the president. How long is a term?
We sit 2 3-year terms if you'd like. So a total of 6 years, and then you sit off a year, and if you want to come back, we'd be glad to have you.
Now, what are some of the duties that the Farm Bureau president would perform?
I run a monthly meeting with our board, and we plan programs, we plan outreach activities, we have a few conferences, we'll have an annual meeting with the entire state Farm Bureau, members, presidents, the whole kit and caboodle.
Right.
That's held in Chicago, first week of December. We have a county annual meeting in February where we elect our own officers and have a business meeting there. But a lot of it is advocacy and really trying to help the community in any way we can.
Now, a couple of things that I remember from my days in everyday radio. I'm retired from that now, but I remember working with Elaine on things like the Farm and Field Day that happens out west between Cuba and Canton, where you bring in a bunch of specialists to talk about some of the experimentation they're doing with things like erosion.
Yes, so we called that our Nutrient Loss Day, and we have since transitioned. We're now doing rotational grazing field days in place of that. So we held one at our farm actually this June, and we will be co-hosting a grazing event in November in Princeville, specializing in virtual fencing for cattle.
Now, how does that work?
It's a collar that they wear, and on
sort of like a dog collar with a
yeah, exactly, same concept. So you can plan out your fences on your phone, and the cows are able to go where you want them to go.
So they don't graze in the same place every day, or they don't wander to the same area. They actually evenly eat the grass.
Yes, yep. So you can set those pins up how you'd like, and then based on the patterns that you set and the times that you set, they can move in and out of those places, and it's very, very interesting. I'm really excited to see some hands-on, to get to ask all the nitty-gritty questions about it. I do think it could become the wave of rotational grazing. Building fence is super expensive, and this is cost comparative.
So going back to 20 years ago, digging post holes, pounding them into the ground, wiring the electric fence, taking a few shocks every now and then, that might be able to go away.
Yeah, I still think you're going to have a perimeter fence, especially if you're going to have small animals, calves, things like that. But that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm excited about. I'm really curious to see how this works and get some hands-on experience with it.
Well, and for people who haven't been on a farm in a long time or have never been around a farm, the technology that you guys use as farm community is amazing to me, where guys can plot out, really not even steer their combine sometime. It'll steer itself.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
GPS?
Cool. Yes. There's all kinds of precision technologies, whether it's livestock, grain operations. It's really, really cool, some of the innovations that we've had over the last 20 years.
Another thing you've done, you said advocacy, and you mentioned some of the things you do. I remember ag in the classroom, where you bring kids from an urban area, say Chicago, get on a bus, come down and see how a farm actually works.
Yes, that is our adopted classroom in Chicago. We adopt St. Germain School in Chicago, and we bring them down in May, and they get to tour Fulton County. We provide them lunch, and they get to see ag in the classroom hands-on. We write to them once a month as well throughout the year, so they're going to get a letter from me, and it describes gardening and what a garden looks like and why we plant what we plant and how nutritious, or just different facts about garden food.
Yeah, that's really neat. I'm assuming the other county farm bureaus do the same thing.
Yes, we also adopt a legislator as well. So we have a legislator in Congress that we try to get on a farm once a year in Fulton County, and we try to meet with her when we're in Chicago to really advocate for agriculture, so she can understand, why we need her and why she needs us.
And that representation is important. Absolutely.
Yes.
We're chatting with Keely Wilcoxon. She is the president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, part of the Illinois Farm Bureau overall structure. Her family farming in the southwestern part of Fulton County.
Yep.
Technically. We're going to take a quick time out and come back and talk to Keely for a couple more minutes. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about the upcoming yearly convention and what has to go on at that, all right?
Sure.
We'll be right back. You're listening to Leatherneck Football. Leatherneck's up at the half, 28-3 over Valpo, and this is the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
When you think local service, you want someone who knows your area and knows you. At Cascom, we are local and provide the local service you expect, as well as the most reliable internet speeds available. Our technicians, our sales force, and our service representatives are all from your communities and provide an experience you can relate to. We are here for you and our community. To find out more, call today at 800-252-1799.
Farmington Village Nursing and Rehabilitation, Fulton County's premier skilled nursing facility, offering services such as short stay rehab to home, long-term placement for you or a loved one in your time of need, outpatient therapy services for people of all ages. Farmington Village, a federally contracted VA nursing home specializing in caring for our nation's heroes. Enjoy amenities like restaurant-style dining, planned community activities and entertainment with 24/7 professional nursing care in a quiet, comfortable home-like setting. Farmington Village, located at 701 South Main Street in Farmington, Illinois.
Ready to transform the way you bank? Try MyBanker interactive teller machines, also known as ITMs, at Mid-America National Bank. Hi, this is Harley Barnard. Skip the lines and connect with a live, local teller through video at any of our ATMs. Deposit checks, withdraw cash, and get personalized assistance all at the touch of a button. Experience the future of banking today with Mid-America National Bank's My Banker ITMs. Mid-America National Bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Grit. It's that thing inside of you that ignites passion and empowers you to envision a world full of possibility. At Western Illinois University, leathernecks are made with this grit. It starts here, in this field, in this room, on this court, and in this lab. We refuse to blend in because our purple stands out. Apply today at wiu.edu.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
Back here in the Hy-Vee halftime show, make sure that you stop by Hy-Vee, pick up your Hy-Vee Fuel Saver card, and save money on gas, groceries, and more at your local friendly neighborhood Hy-Vee. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody, and our halftime guest, Keely Wilcoxon, president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, based out of Lewistown. And Keely, I want to ask you real quick, and you gave me another question, and I'll ask you so we can talk about that as well. But real quick, tell us about the yearly annual meeting of every county at the Illinois Farm Bureau coming up in December. What kind of things are discussed?
Yeah, so it's a full business meeting on Monday where delegates who are active farming members across the state who are elected at their personal county meetings, we all get together and vote on ag policies that we put into a resolution book. And that is how Illinois Farm Bureau advocates for agriculture in DC and Springfield, across the nation, worldwide. It's what our farmers feel are important, our business professionals feel are important, and the issues that need to be addressed politically.
And just like everything else in the country, different regions have different preferences and different needs. So you've got to be able to go up there and have a strong front, I would imagine, together, so that when you go to the national meetings, you can say, look, the Midwest needs this.
Yes. And it's very interesting to watch. All counties obviously have their own priorities and things that they really want. So when you go to Chicago, sometimes you're lobbying other counties on your behalf.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you're needing their votes. You're needing their expertise. You need them to understand why it's important to you. We did it with the CO2 pipeline. We had some concerns and some issues that we wanted other counties aware that weren't going to necessarily know a lot about it. So it's good networking. It's good advocacy, even within our own organization.
Fantastic. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about here tonight, you mentioned it, and you reminded me, during the summer, there was an incident and an accident in one of the grain bins. And this has been something, you grew up in Minnesota, you live in Iowa for a few years, you live in Illinois for half your life. You know that these are accidents that you try desperately to avoid, because they can be so lethal. When somebody falls into a grain bin, the oxygen disappears quickly. And what is the Farm Bureau? You mentioned that you've got an initiative going on this very issue.
We do. We are working with the Fulton County ESDA coordinator, Chris Helly, and we are designing training opportunities for first responders in Fulton County. So we're actively pursuing financial means to purchase a few more grain rescue tubes and the equipment needed to bust into bins. So that way all of our departments across the county have access and can immediately respond to those. But on the second side of it, we're also planning safety procedures. We are even considering solar farms and battery farms. So that way our first responders in Fulton County have the resources and the tools and the trainings that they need in case they need it.
Yeah, and those accidents, as much as you try to avoid and prevent them, occasionally, unfortunately, they happen.
They do.
And we're glad you're doing something about that. That is an issue that takes a couple of lives nationwide every year, sometimes even more, and depending on how busy the summer is. But thank you for doing that work as well. Yep. And thank you for spending time with us at halftime.
Thank
Roger
you.
took a nice nap, even though it's about 100 degrees in here. So we appreciate it very much, and congratulations on being named president. And looking forward to more of your work as that leader.
Thank you. Thank you,
Keely, and thank Delson for letting you come up. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Someday I'll visit the farm too.
Yes.
Sound like a plan?
We would love that.
All right.
Yeah.
We're about 5 minutes away from the kickoff of the second half. We've been chatting with Keely Wilcoxon, the president of the Fulton County Farm Bureau, here on Ag Day for Western Illinois football. And you're listening to the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I must give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
There are plenty of lenders out there, but few know farming like Compeer Financial. We are here with industry knowledge, a commitment to agriculture, and a will to help you succeed. Whether you farm 300 acres or 3,000, or your herd size is big or small. Compeer Financial, here for you. Call 844-426-6733 or visit Compeer.com today. Compeer Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the farmer to the DIYer, the homeowner with a yard to mow to the landscaper with hundreds to mow. At Heritage Tractor, we are deeply committed to your unique needs. We're here for you, and we're here for the long haul. We're not just located here, but we're part of this place. Our John Deere equipment and highly trained staff empower you to turn dreams into reality. Whether it's tending to your fields, running a business, or enhancing your piece of paradise, in all the ways that matter, Heritage Tractor is here for you.
You're listening to Leatherneck Sports on Q98.1, WILP-FM Cuba Canton Macomb, and on Q98.5, WLSB-FM Augusta Plymouth Bowen, the flagship stations of the Leatherneck Radio Network. Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
BJ Stone and Dr. Tom Cody back here in the Hy-Vee halftime show is about 2 minutes away from ending as we get ready to kick off the third quarter. Leathernecks lead at 28-3. A big thank you once again to Keely Wilcoxon. Great to see youngsters staying involved in farming. It's a profession that is aging and looking for those young kids to take the family farms to keep them going. And her and her husband are among those youngsters that are doing it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, my wife's from a big farm family. My nephew has taken over the family farm since both of her parents had died. And, you know, it was interesting. My son started out in one career and ended up in the ag industry. He works for Nutrient Ag, you know, and sells seed and stuff for them. And my wife couldn't be happier that he is, honoring the family tradition by staying in that farming business.
I'll tell you what, those jobs are always needing to be filled. There's so much work to do in the ag community. And we thank the Illinois Farm Bureau for stepping up and sponsoring our network this year and the awareness for them that we hope that we bring. And you can join the Farm Bureau at the county level, at statewide level. You can join even if you're not involved in agriculture directly. Because if you eat food, you're involved in agriculture. All right?
And we eat a lot of food up here.
We eat a lot of food up here.
No doubt.
We've got about a minute to go here before we start the half. We do have some stats. So, Doc, give us the highlights as you see it.
Hey, just as I predicted, Western Illinois is rushing the ball for 4 yards per carry.
Yes, you were right on.
And so we're doing well there. Holman has 9 carries for 36 yards. You know, Zanolski comes in, bumps that up, has 2 carries for 20 yards. And so Western Illinois has 80 yards rushing. Even though I know they wanted to have more, I don't think they've had a tackle for a loss in the running game. So that's a positive as you take a look at it. Chris Irvin, as you take a look at his passing attempts, he's 7 for 11 for 134 yards. Has missed on a couple of big plays, but got the 15-yard 15-yard pass interference call. So you take a look at total yardage there. Western Illinois, in terms of, they've moved all our stuff around here on
Well, 214 for Western.
Yeah, 214 for Western.
94 for Valpo in the first half. Here's the big one that sticks out for me, Doc. 3.03 yards per play for Valpo. That is not something we didn't even get to call that in the McHenry game last year when they played against a Division II opponent.
No, 3.3 yards per play. Western Illinois is 3.38. So you take a look at that, and
7.38.
7.38. You take a look at that. Western Illinois has really done what they wanted to do offensively. Just had the one punt in the first half. The things that I like to see is Western Illinois is 3 for 5 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth. Valpo's 0 for 1 on fourth down, and only 2 for 7 on third down. So those were two of the keys of the game that I talked about that Western Illinois really needed to improve upon, and they've done that in the first half.
I think coaches like, and they're dreaming of a 50% third down conversion rate. I think they're happy sometimes if it's over 40. But defensively, if you can hold a team to less than 33% conversion rate, you generally win the football game.
Yeah, that's a big stat in my mind when we take a look at that, and that means your defense is getting after it, and your offense is moving the ball down the field and keeping your defensive offense.
So Luke Scoma will kick off for Valpo to start this second half. He's on our left, kicking from the north end of the field, obviously then to the south and southeast corner of the field here. And he kicks a low line drive, stays in the field to play at about the 7-yard line where it's scooped up by Chicala Warden. Chicala trying to get to the outside, cuts it back, still on his feet. Cuts through 2 defenders, and he's dropped just side the 30-yard line. Good return by Chicala Warden, the cornerback who the Leathernecks feel can break one at some point this year. He's a good one, and the Leathernecks have pretty decent field position to start. Leathernecks wearing the purple uniforms, new purple jerseys and pants this year. Say Leathernecks across the front in gold with white numerals front and back, and they've got 2 white stripes on the sleeves, along with their white helmets that Joe Davis has continued to wear here in his second year. He and I argue about that, but he's the coach.
No, you say something, and
we don't argue.
We don't argue. He just does what he wants.
3 wide receivers to the left as the Leathernecks take the field for their first possession of the second half. Zolnowski is in, and he'll run it. He's got room over the 40, 45, cut back midfield, tackled at the 46-yard line, maybe the 47 of Valpo, and the backup cornerback, Tanner Zolnowski, is proving to be quite the weapon on the ground as he goes 26 yards to the 48-yard line is where they spot him down. He now leads all rushers with 46 yards and 3 carries in the game.
Yeah, really nice job on the offensive side of the offensive line for Western Illinois there. Did a nice job of sealing in. Zolnowski really took it off and went.
And he's going to keep it and run it again. He has played 4 plays and has kept the ball every time. He gains just a yard this time. It's his shortest run, but Tanner Zolnowski has given the Leathernecks 2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line of Valpo. Now, after 4 straight runs, now do you let him throw the ball one time?
Yeah, let's see if we get a little play action over the top play here.
3 wide receivers go to the right. 2 of them are bunched up around the hash marks, 1 all the way to the numbers. Fake to Holman. He's going to run it again. Zolnowski coming left in the sweep. Another first down and more. 30-yard line and pulled down from behind at around the 28. We'll see where they spot him this time. Tanner Zolnowski with another first down as he comes out of the game. He has played 5 plays, and he's run the ball all 5 times. A little bit shaken up after that one. That was an awkward landing, the way he got pulled down. They marked him out at the 30, but it's first down at the Valpo 30, and Chris Irvin's back in now.
I think he might be a little gassed.
He's got some wheels, Doc. Brinston Williams is in. He goes in motion. Irvin fakes to him, then goes deep down the right side looking for Damari, and it's batted away. A nice play defensively by the cornerback for Valpo over there, Mark Johnson. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. But again, the pump fake to the running back, and then the look downfield to try to hit that little pocket that they have in the secondary, and then they read it well that time.
Yeah, the whole shot. And one of the things that I'd like to see Chris Irvin do is that time he had Williams open. He pump faked him, but everybody dropped and went with the wheel route that time. Williams was open in the flat.
2nd down and 10. Handoff up the middle to Markel Holman. Holman pushes the pile down inside the 30 to the 27. And Markel's doing a nice job. That is carry number 10 for him, and he's nearing 40 yards. Zolnowski, they've got listed for 4 carries and 45, but it should be 5 for quite a bit more than that. I think he's around 60 yards after they took over the 25, and he ran it all the way into Valpo territory. All those yards were his. Well,
they've definitely put in a Zolnowski package here for Western Illinois.
Two wide receivers each way. Straight drop for Irvin. Right side, looking deep, and it's picked off inside the 5. Just didn't get enough air under the ball. Looking for Damari Davis, and he may be locking on to Damari a little bit early as the defense read that. They had him double-teamed, and an interception made back at the 4-yard line. I think that was Johnson again.
Yeah, that time he just threw into double coverage right there. He did the pump, thought he'd have Davis wide open on the scene. The safety never went to the middle of the field, and Chris never looked to the middle of the field to move the safety over. You know, you talk about, as you coach defensive backs, you know, read the quarterback's eyes, and that's what they talk about. You know, you move a safety over by looking one way and going back. That time he just eyed up Damari Davis, threw the home run ball, and basically just threw it to the defensive back who was sitting there waiting on it. Damari had to try to get to 3 yards to break it up, unable to do that. And Western Illinois has its first turnover.
So from their own 4-yard line here with 12:27 to go in the third quarter, Valpo takes over Letternecks with the lead of 28-3. That's the same as it was at the half. Chris Irvin now 7 for 13 with the 1 interception. 5 of those 7 have gone to Damari Davis. Markel Holman has 1 for a touchdown, and Fabian Baez has 1 catch for 13 yards. But other than that, none of the other wide receivers or tight ends. And I thought that Brandon Williams had it.
Lanier had a catch for a first down.
So our stats are not maybe quite 100% when we give them to you. These are all at the hands of the crew upstairs, and they're working through first game jitters as well. First down carry for Manzarek is about a 7-yard gain for Valpo. He gets it all over the 10 to the 11. They got to get to the 15, just shy of it, for a first down. So we'll call it second and a long 3. You don't want to give this team any momentum.
Well, and if you're really trying to make it a statement game, this is a great place for the defense to get a stop and have them kick it out deep in their own territory.
Out of the pistol formation, play action, down the middle, running stride for stride, Moko, and he was on the outside. The throw was a good one, but the catch is not made near midfield. That ball was put where the only guy that was going to get it was the receiver down there. I can't see his number from this distance, but Moko was behind him, couldn't get over the top, and if he'd have made that catch, it would have been a gain of about 40 yards. Instead, it's 3rd down and 3. Good throw, though.
Good throw, though, and Moko was in good coverage. I don't think he saw the ball. He never broke on the ball. The ball was a little bit underthrown, but to the wide side of the field, but he just kept playing the receiver, and it fell incomplete.
Keith Moko is a junior. He is from Suwanee, Georgia, and comes down from one of the FBS programs to play here for the Letternecks. He now comes up in press coverage on the outside on 3rd down and 3. The quarterback, I believe the starter's back in, tried to keep it and go up the middle and got nowhere. And the Letternecks pile up Keefe and push him backwards. So good to see that Keefe's okay, Doc. You hate to see anybody hurt. And Keefe comes back in the game, tries to lead that drive, and didn't get anywhere in that play. Ended up losing. Well, looking back the line of scrimmage, it's 4th down and still about 3 yards to go from between the 11 and the 12-yard line. The sticks over there are near the 13. They're way off. So the punt team comes on, and the Letterneck defense comes up with a 3rd down stop, brought to you by Domino's. Try the New York-style pizza. Order one on the app, and it'll be there before the next touchdown, unless the Letternecks score in the punt return, because not even Domino's is that fast.
There we go. Yeah, nice job by the defense that time. Valparaiso's goes empty backfield, quarterback draw, and really just stoned Keefe at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal procedure, and they were going to run out of time anyway. The play clock was down to 1 second, and somebody on the offensive line moved as it was. So that's going to push them back inside the 10 and move Anaya up to about the 45-yard line. Christian could put the Letternecks in tremendous field position with a decent return here. Stop by the WIU bookstore, pick up your gear before the next home football game, the 27th against Eastern Illinois. Show your purple pride and shop at the WIU bookstore. Here comes that punt, and it's a good one out of the end zone, forcing Anaya back to his own side of the field. Fair catch made at his own 47. Letternecks, good field position, second best starting spot of the night. And we'll start just on their own side of the field here for the second possession of the second half. 10:38 to go in the third. Letternecks lead this one 28-3. The man with the vest is on the field. And we'll take a timeout and come right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Letternecks Sports Network.
What do you want from an ag lending partner? Someone who supports smart decision-making and values relationships. And when your farm faces financial challenges, someone who looks you in the eyes and says, "We are here for you." Find what you're looking for at Compeer Financial. Compeer Financial, here for you. Let's work together Call 844-426-6733 or visit compare.com today. Compare Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
In today's world, the internet is like the ultimate sidekick. So why is it so hard to know how much speed you actually need? At MTC, we provide fast, reliable fiber internet packages to help you live your best connected lifestyle. Say goodbye to loading screens and hello to seamless streaming with our lightning-fast, rock-solid fiber internet packages. Upgrade to MTC's fiber internet with speeds up to 1 gig. Sign up online for MTC's fiber at mtcfiber.net and start loving your internet.
Leathernecks football is on Q981FM.com.
BJ Stone and Dr. Tom Cody at Hanson Field started the 76th year of football at this venerable old field named after Rock Hanson, who was the coach not only of football, but basketball and baseball for a while between 1926 and 1941. Of course, he was a World War I veteran. It was he that asked the military, the Marines specifically, if they could use the name Leathernecks to describe Western Illinois sports teams, and we remain the only school not directly affiliated with the United States military that has a military-based nickname.
Yeah, the only school that is allowed to do that.
That's right. They won't let anybody else.
They won't let anybody else do that. So there was, you take a look at that. What a great thing! I do think the Leathernecks is better than the previous name, the Fighting Teachers. I think that was that's a much better name in terms of that. Though sometimes when we go on the road, people like to call us the Bulldogs, which is kind of crazy because, we have Rocky the Bulldog as our mascot. And so, there's a little bit of confusion there, but it's really, what a great honor and a great tradition here to have the Leatherneck team and be called the Leathernecks and play on Hanson Field on Saturdays.
And Chad Boudreau, the basketball coach, and I were standing in one of the gymnasiums on the road looking at all the banners for the conference, and there are like 5 birds in the OVC. There's 11 teams, right? In basketball season, there's less in football because some of the schools don't play football, but there are 5 birds. There are some cats, a bunch of them, the Lions, and then there's the Little Rock Trojans, but there's only one dog in the conference.
That's right.
And that's the Leathernecks. We are the only dogs in the league, and the dogs are on the field right now with a first down at their own 47, 10:38 to play third quarter. Here comes the run. Holman gets to the outside. He's got a first down, and he's all the way down inside the 40-yard line. First down, Leathernecks.
Near the 35-yard line.
Is that the same fellow that texted you before, Doc?
Yep.
I don't know. Listening to the app, or are you listening to the...
I'll find out.
All right. I'm asking our guy back at the station if we're good to go. 10:14 to play, third quarter. Leathernecks up 28-3. That was the halftime score. And here comes a handoff to Holman. Makes a nice cut. Makes another fella fall off as he shreds him, and he gets about 7 yards from the 35 down to the 28. It'll be second down and 3.5 to go for the Leathernecks after another nice run by Markel Holman.
Yeah, really nice play that time by Chris Irvin on the read option. They ran the inside zone read option, and he gave it to Holman, had a nice pickup of almost 7, but he could have kept it as well. But very, very patient, had his eyes downfield, had the right read, gave it to the guy, gave it to Holman, who had a nice game.
So we're on the air, sounding good, and I apologize for those listening on our mobile app. Apparently there's been some off and on segments, but we'll work on that, try to fix that. But tune in on the air, 98.1, or you can go to Q981FM.com and listen that way. There's a handoff and a first down for Holman. He's a workhorse right now on this drive. He's all the way down inside the 20 to the Valpo 17, and the Leathernecks really are just imposing their will on the Beacons right now.
Well, you talked about it. We talked about it when we played against Northwestern and Illinois. The size kind of wears you down as you get in the second half. I'm sure we're getting a little bit of that here where Western Illinois' size is starting to wear on that Valpo defensive front.
Play action to Holman. Pass outside to tight end Alex Williams. He breaks a tackle. He's inside the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Western Illinois, Alex Williams.
Nice play there, Alex. Open the refrigerator door and get yourself a cold one. Western Illinois finds pay dirt.
34-3, Leathernecks. Alex, the 240-pound senior tight end, backs up Brandon Lanier, but plays most of the snaps out of Geneva, Illinois, and strong as an ox, strong like bull.
Yeah, really.
Downfield and score.
Made a nice play. kind of hard for me to see, goes out of our window here, but it looked like he was going to be tackled for a 2-yard gain and made a couple nice nifty moves, ran through a couple tackles, and finds the end zone.
Letternex go 53 yards in 5 plays for the touchdown on the pass to Alex Williams. The extra point from Antonio Chata. He kicks that one all the way to the Quad Cities, and it's 35-3 Leathernecks with 8:42 to go in the third quarter. That's your Rich Weston RE/MAX scoring drive recap as the Leathernecks pound another one onto the board. And we have a timeout on the field, Doc.
Yeah, I was just going to say, nice 17-yard touchdown run there, but I mean, it was like a 2-yard pass. Williams did really just a great job of getting the ball in the end zone.
Leathernecks up big. We'll take a timeout on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leathernecks Sports Network.
Need reliable internet that works as hard as you do? MTC Communications has you covered with lightning-fast fiber internet for your home and business. Stream in HD, host video conferences without a hitch, and download large files in seconds. With MTC's fiber internet, you'll experience unparalleled speed and reliability. Join the MTC family today and stay connected to what matters most. Visit mtcfiber.net to get started. MTC Communications, your partner in productivity.
Are you expecting a baby? McDonough District Hospital's OBGYN clinic and the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center provide the care and resources needed for a healthy beginning in one centralized location. With board-certified obstetricians and gynecologists, nurse midwife, and certified family nurse practitioner, expectant mothers have provider options and the equipment, environment, and care they'll need from pregnancy through delivery and postpartum care. McDonough District Hospital, growing our legacy, one patient at a time.
Your home for WIU Sports, Q98.1.
The Leathernecks have a 35-3 Illinois Farm Bureau advantage with 8:42 to play here in the third quarter. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody, up in the booth where we are sweltering hot. And we want to remind you, again, the next home game is the 27th against Eastern Illinois. Follow the WIU bookstore on Facebook and Instagram. Click on bookstore.wiu.edu for the deal of the week. Wear your purple with pride at the next home game. That's bookstore.wiu.edu. The official printing company of the Fighting Leathernecks is Royal Printing, with locations in Macomb, Burlington, and Quincy. Proud partner of Leatherneck Sports Properties. Call them for your next job and thank them for the big, gorgeous program that has been put out this year. Make sure you get yourself one of these Leatherneck football programs. They're really, really cool. Compeer Financial, during the Harvest Marathon, we've been talking about how long that's starting up now. They're going to be harvesting the crops for a while. You don't have time to be out of the cab. At Compeer Financial, we're here for you. We're here wherever you need us to be, tailoring services to keep your farm thriving. And we're also here wishing you a safe harvest season. Reminder to prioritize safety even in the rush. Give your Compeer team a call, 844-426-6733, or visit Compeer.com for your ag lending needs. Compeer Financial, an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved. Leathernecks to kick off from right to left. Antonio Chata will boot it deep and try to kick it through the end zone, as he always does. He steps into it at the 40, and the ball rockets towards the other end of the field, about 5 yards deep, and they're going to take a knee and take it at the 25-yard line. Valpo, wearing their white uniforms, white jerseys, brown pants, and one of the Leathernecks just docked through a punch.
Oh, that's not good.
And that young man's probably going to be gone for the night. That was after the play, and a little forearm shiver to the back of the helmet. We'll see what the official has to say about it. That'll tack on some yardage, unless they make it offsetting penalties. Valpo is saying with the white jerseys, the brown pants, the white helmets, and gold numbers that are so light it's very hard to see unless you're at field level. Think of the old San Diego Padres, brown and gold, but the Padres always had some good-looking outfits back in those days.
You know, I really like the traditional uniforms. I know that, both NFL and MLB put all these different uniforms out for marketing, sales.
Sure, the third uniforms and the fourth sets. Yeah.
All that stuff. But, keep it clean and simple.
I'm more of a flashy color guy.
Oh, yeah?
I like the purple pants, the purple jerseys the Leathernecks have. I don't like multiple uniforms so much. I think it's a little bit too much when Oregon changes every Saturday. But kids love it, and it helps recruiting.
Yep. Well, and I think I like the purple look. This is very clean.
Yes.
And it's very simple. right?
It is simple.
Very clean and simple, and you can see the numbers on it. You know, in some of the uniforms today, they take the numbers, you know, and make them a really light, different color that looks good when you're 2 feet away, but when you're 30 yards away, you can't see anything.
That's right. And in basketball, we've seen one that have been the monocolor, where it's the same color number as it is jersey, and you can't hardly tell what the number is. I actually saw a team from Lake Forest get technicals 5 to start the game because the referees couldn't read their numbers.
Oh, that's a good one.
That bad.
I like it.
And that was up against Knox in a game that I was working up there.
I think this is going to be a multiple.
It's been a long discussion.
Yeah.
And here comes our official.
There are 2 fouls in the play, both after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team number 85. Unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 18. Those fouls offset. The ball be placed at the 25-yard line after the touchback. That is the first unsportsmanlike conduct for both players.
Wow, that was not the number that was actually involved for the Letterneck. So that young man caught a huge break. No sense of broadcasting at this point. Nope. But 18 on the kicking team. You've got an offense and a defense 18, and I'm assuming DJ Taylor, defensive end, but he's a starter. It might very well have been the backup tight end if he's in uniform tonight, who's just a freshman. So I'm going to assume it was DJ that gets called for the altercation after the whistle, along with that player from Valpo. But neither are rejected. It was just offsetting penalties, so Valpo will start at 25. They are just warned now, though, if they get another penalty, that's the end of the night. And Valpo could be getting frustrated, certainly, down 35-3 here in the early stages of the second half. Keep in mind they won their opener 67-10 before losing 10-7 to an NAIA team last week. First down play will go backwards as the Letternecks eat it up on the inside. Christian Pierce shooting through a gap. Got a little help from Esteban Guillory again. Jalen Ribbon looked like he was in that pileup. About a 4-yard loss from Mansoray. And it's second down and 14. A lot of TFLs for the Letternecks up front tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You take a look at it. They've done a really, really nice job of stopping the run tonight. You take a look at rushing attempts, 18 for Valparaiso, and they're just averaging 2.8 yards per rush.
That's winning football if you can keep it up. Here comes a sweep to the outside. Backup is in there. That's number 5 for Valpo. Picks up some of those yards. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. DeWyan McNeely, he's a big kid, 6'2", 215, in his 7th year of college.
DeWyan McNeely on the carry.
I spent that many years in the 5th grade.
Did you?
Yeah.
John Belushi, or should I say Senator Blutarski, 7 years, had a 0.0 down there in Animal.
There you go.
Third 10. And I think it was, what was the part that Ryan Reynolds played? The guy from Wisconsin that never left college. I can't think of his name. Yeah. Timeout has to be wasted by the Letternecks, and Landon Fox not happy with personnel. They had to rush a guy on the field, and I don't know that they had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5.
They only had 10.
30 seconds, and we.
So one man short out there, and the Letternecks have to use a timeout.
Well, that goes back to what we were talking about, having when Coach Davis gets the whole offensive team, first, second, and third teamers on the numbers, to talk about staying in the game. And so what happened was a defensive back came off the field kind of limping, and his backup wasn't paying attention. And so never knew he had to go in. Nobody saw it from a coaching standpoint. And so I couldn't see the safety. I think it was Buju was screaming at the sideline to get a defensive body in Western Illinois. Let's take a timeout.
Well, and over here on the bench getting a rest. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but both Chikala Warden and Esteban Guillory, who've been big parts of the defense, are sitting right in front of that cool air, and they have to be replaced. You got to get guys out in the field ready to go. So the Letternecks have that now. They've got the 11 they want. I see number 44 on the field, Justin Buckner, outside linebacker, a freshman out of Chicago. And it's third down and 10. And finally the crowd getting into it here on third and 10, making a little noise. Valpo switches one wide receiver from the right side to the left side. So they've got 2 out there in the left, 1 to the right. 10 on the play clock, plenty of time to get it off. Keefe takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. He gets hit as he throws, but he makes the completion. No, the ball pops out. Good hit at the last second. Letternecks number 29, defensive back James Mankaka from Rochester, Minnesota, redshirt freshman, makes the hit and perfectly timed, and it brings up a 4th and 10, another third down stop brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Go to the app and order the New York style pizza from Domino's. It'll be there before the next touchdown. But you better hurry because touchdowns are coming quickly tonight.
Yeah, Western Illinois doing a nice job. Only punted twice tonight. Four solo tackles for loss tonight, and I think we're looking at 18 different players have made tackles tonight as well. So Western Illinois, everybody in the defense, I was really impressed on that second down play. There were 6 purple shirts around the ball.
Almost got there again. A line drive punt is taken by a new punt returner in there. That is number 87, Nieves. Joshua Nieves, wide receiver.
Joshua.
5'11", 190, junior out of Boston, Mass. Makes a nice return out near midfield. Made the catch on the run of that line drive kick with a guy right in his face, and then he darted around him.
Yeah, and I showed a little pick-me-up going around the corner. Giddy up. He said, let's go, and almost if he beats the one guy who made the tackle, he might put it in the end zone.
Some of these guys that did not start on the 2 deep that we were given before the Illinois game have worked their way up through the depth chart and getting some playing time. Guys like Fabian Baez and now Joshua Nieves, who did get some plays against Northwestern on the road last week. Tristan Duncan has gotten some playing time. Eric Denham, we haven't seen much tonight. Only 4 guys have actually caught the ball. Damari Davis has 5 catches from Chris Irvin. Williams, Holman, and Baez listed with 1. I know that there was another catch in there for Brandon Lanier. So there's 5 guys that have caught the ball, 4 showing up on the live stats right now. We'll have to make sure they correct that before they go home tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You take a look, and that was a big catch by Lanier, got the first down in that sense, and I think Chris is starting to settle into it. The interception he threw last time, again, was one of those plays where he just locks up and says, I'm going to Damari Davis, and it really didn't survey the field. So, right now, Irvin has, you take a look at his passing stats.
I've got him at 8 for 14 for 151 and about 57% completion ratio. He was under 50 both of the first 2 games. And I know that's not a Joe Davis style offense to complete less than 50% of your passes.
8 to 14, 1 interception, 151 yards. And so, Western Illinois, I think the thing that we talked about early in the pregame is they wanted to establish the run, 161 yards rushing by Western Illinois. Now, I want to say that number is, I don't want to say inflated because now we have the Zolnowski running package.
Right.
But I tell you what, Zolnowski and running the football here, he has 4. They have him down for 4 carries for 45 yards.
Got him for like 5 for 60 in my head.
So and his longest was 24. So he's, rushing the ball for over 11 yards a carry.
Whether you're cheering for the Leathernecks or catching the big game at home, where there's probably air conditioning, MTC Communications has your back with reliable fiber internet. Go Next. The Leatherneck Club is made up of dedicated fans who help make a difference in the student-athlete experience at Western Illinois University. Support WIU athletics today by joining the Leatherneck Club. Go online to GoLeathernecks.com or call the offices Monday through Friday at 298-1190. 309-298-1190. The need for support has never been greater. Leatherneck fans, get ready. September 27th, first conference game is the home game against Eastern Illinois. The basketball program has that big axe that goes back and forth for that long-time rivalry. Let's get some fans out here to support the team against the blue and silver and white of Eastern Illinois on the 27th when they come to town.
It's always nice to get that team back into the rivalry.
And to get a win to start the conference season would be huge. Irvin on play action finds Anaya on the slant over the middle. He's down inside the 30 to the 25, still on his feet. 2 guys to bring him down as he gets to the Valpo 20-yard line and a gain of about 30 yards. Christian Anaya's first catch on the slant is a big gainer. Good play action by Irvin as he put it in the belly of Holman to freeze those linebackers.
Yeah, so that was, you take a look at it, that was a plan that looked like the RPO they've been running, but they had a 2-man where they ran the ex-receiver down the seam, and then Anaya just broke down the middle of the field, wide open. Everybody jumped up like it was going to be a run, and a nice throw and catch. Great timing on the play by Irvin.
Puts it down to 21 is where they spot him. Inside the Holman, hit back in the backfield at 23. He's able to twist and shimmy, maybe get to the 22, but either way, it's a slight loss of yards. First time Leathernecks have been trapped in their own backfield, and they mark it down to 23, a 2-yard loss, second down and 12.
Yeah, that time Valparaiso came with an all-out blitz trying to stop the run, and they were able to get in the backfield, unblocked man, able to make the tackle.
We're still working on the stats upstairs. They try to get all the numbers punched in properly. They gave Amua Boucher's got a 17-yard run, Doc. I'll explain that here in a minute. Here's a move to the outside by Holman, shoved out of bounds. Maybe got back to the 21. Nope, still going to say the 22, so 3rd and 11. So Zolnowski, the backup quarterback, wears number 14. He has 4 rushes listed on the stats for 45 yards. Buju Amua Tiasavora wears 14 on defense. They've accidentally listed him with 1 carry for 17 yards. It belongs to Tanner. So Tanner is 5 for 62. Holman is 14 for 75 before that carry. And Buju is going to say, no, don't take me out of there. I like that 17-yard run. Let me keep it.
He's saying, I want to be a running back. I want to switch rooms.
That'll happen. These double numbers, man, there's nothing good about it. There's just absolutely nothing good about it. All right. Quick drop by Urban, and he gets hit. He was looking downfield. The hit came from right in front of him. A good play by Max Samuel, the star linebacker, on a blitz. And it's 4th down and long for the Leathernecks back around the 30-yard line. And should bring shot out for a field goal attempt, and here he is.
Yeah, that was that was the worst offensive series of the evening. That time again, Valparaiso came with an all blitz, and Holman picked up one of them, and the other guy just came free, and Chris Irvin never saw him, hit him right in the chest, nowhere to go, and that drive just went backwards.
Rodrigo will set it at the 38. It'll be a 48-yard field goal attempt for Antonio Chata with the big leg. He sends it on its way, and that is right smack through the uprights. 3 points, Leathernecks off the boot of Antonio Chata from 48 yards, and Western takes a 38-3 lead with 4:52 to go in period number 3. We'll take a timeout, maybe? Or shall we keep it here? I don't see Mr. Vest. Let's keep it here. It might go straight to the kickoff. Leathernecks have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage 38-3 now, Doc, and it's just been a very good performance. Compared to last year's Game 3, both years 0-2 after 2 FBS games, right? We get McKendree to come in here and a chance to get a win, get off the schneid after the couple of previous seasons, which Joe Davis is correct in saying, I wasn't here. That's not me. You know, I was 0-2 at that time, and I wanted to win. And they play McKendree, Division II team with a lot of talent, a lot of speed, ending the game at a score of 49-32. How do you compare that performance last year with this one here tonight against an FCS team, albeit non-scholarship, in Valpo?
Oh, I think defensively, is the difference in these two games in terms of that. I think the offense still is not up to par as where it was last year even at this point in time, even though we put this number of points up on the board. But the defense has taken a huge step forward and has really controlled this ball game.
Chata tried to boot that one into the little corral down there, the touchdown terrace beyond the north end zone. And it's going to be a touchback to the 25-yard line, and Valpo will start from there. And you're right, Doc, the defense has just been really vastly improved, holding Valpo now to an average of 2.76 yards per play. They've run 37 plays, according to the stats, and have only gained 102 yards tonight. When's the last time you saw a Leatherneck defense have that kind of performance through almost 3/4 of play?
Right. And again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but 6 straight 3-and-outs last week against a Big Ten team. That should have told you something about the level of play that the defense has risen to.
The backup quarterback is back in there now, and that is Karan Tyler, and he throws a completion out to the right side, enough for a first down.
Reception by Michael Mansari.
Mansari makes the catch at the 35 or the 30 and runs it to the 35 for a first down. Mansari's a good back. I like him, 5'9", 195. Had over 100 yards first 2 games combined. And he's got just 24 on the ground tonight, but he's made a couple of catches. Here's a throw on the right sideline. What a great job by the receiver. He just kept his arm wrapped up around the defender so he knew where he was, and then at the last second pulled it off and made the catch. Micah Mackey, 6'2", 220-pound redshirt sophomore, makes a big catch. Is there a flag on the play?
Flag on the play. And that play was pretty well covered by Western Illinois, but that's that back shoulder throw that's really hard to defend.
It is. You got to stop on a dime and come back. Or the safety's got to come over and jump it. Well, they're backing them up. So this is on Valpo. And it's a 5-yard mark-off.
And the eligible receiver downfield, offense number 85, was covered up by the receiver on the end of the line. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And I think most football fans know what that is, Doc. But if you're covered up on the line, then you're ineligible, correct?
Correct.
So number 85, despite being one of their regular receivers, somebody didn't step back off the line of scrimmage, which made him not eligible to be in the pattern, which he was. That's the second week in a row we've seen an ineligible downfield against the Leathernecks. It's 1st and 15 back at the 30-yard line. Valpo has to get to the 45. And once again, every time they get behind the chains in a 10-yard or longer situation, they have not been able to convert. Mansoray gets wrapped up in the backfield. Oh, Payne Miller, the Princeton Tiger. The 295-pounder just wrapped up the little guy and said, no, you're going to land right in this area, and tosses him to the turf at about the 23-yard line, another loss of 2. It's second down and 17, second down and 22.
Miller's lined up on the inside, and so the guy over him blocked out, and they pulled the backside guard, expecting Miller to go down with the offensive guard following him down, but he just saw the play, broke up field, made a great one-on-one tackle.
For a big kid, I love his quickness. There's a pass, and it's dropped. Pressure was coming right up the middle from Elijah Congolo. He got right in the face of the quarterback, and the pass intended on a little outlet to the safety valve, I guess you call it. Mansoray, he couldn't hang on to it. Now it's third down and a long way. Third down and 22 yards to go. Third down, and from here to Marietta for a first down.
Yeah, that play was made by the rush. You take a look at that. They had actually a nice little screenplay set up on the outside that Western Illinois was well blocked. And so, but unfortunately for Valpo, the quarterback didn't have enough time to put the ball on the player, and it was a drop.
3 wide receivers left, none outside to the right. He's going to come to the right on the keeper, the quarterback, trying to pick up the first down. And his only breaks through. He's going to have the first down and more. He's hit from behind and caught. But it's a first down. Leathernecks at the point of attack had a lot of bodies there, but that quarterback split the defenders, got downfield before finally being brought down by Keith Moko.
Yeah, look, Western Illinois looking a little tired there on defense.
49-yard line of Western. Back to pass again. Off the helmet of one of the Leathernecks, and they can't come up with a tip drill interception. Almost got the turnover they were looking for. Going to be 2nd and 10. The pass was high, and Malini Tia had to go through his hands off his helmet. Diving behind him to try to come up with the play was Buju, Amua Tui Savora, and those two almost combined. The smiling two, as Joe Davis says, those kids are always grinning.
That's right.
They just love playing football, love going to school, and they just love life. 2nd down and 10 from the Leatherneck 49. Tyler threw that one a little bit too high. He'll hand off this time, and a good tackle by Buju to come up and flip the running back over head over heels, a gain of 1, 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Western Illinois. Last time on the big game by Tyler, Western Illinois had purple shirts in the area. It looked like they were just waiting for somebody else to make the tackle, and he just kind of put on the afterburner and split the seam, and away he went.
He showed some quickness on that one. Everybody was trying to lock somebody up, right? Occupy a blocker and have somebody make the tackle, but nobody was there to do that. From the Leatherneck 48, it's 3rd down and 9. Pressure right up the middle. Taylor gets hit as he throws, and it's caught down the sideline. Going in for the score will be the wide receiver. I'm trying to find a number by checking the scoreboard here. So hard to see the numbers. He's a little guy. Made the catch on the far side of the field.
Number 9, Chris Gundy.
It's Chris Gundy, the 5'7" wide receiver. That fits. And Gundy caught the ball as Shakara Warden was trying to get to him. Shakara put a hand up and missed the ball, and Gundy caught it.
Yeah, it was kind of a surreal play to watch because you thought he was going to make the interception, and all of a sudden Gundy comes up with the ball and scores the touchdown. I know Coach Fox will not be happy with that effort.
48-yard touchdown pass for Karan Tyler to Gundy, and the extra point is good. Valpo has their first 7 of the night. And it's 38-10, Western leading Valpo with 2:28 to go in the third quarter. And we'll keep it here. It doesn't look like the vest guy is going to come on the field, but good for Valpo, confidence for them, for Tyler to come off the bench. He's 6 for 7, and he got away with a high pass in the previous play that should have been picked off. And that one we thought was going to get picked off, as you said.
I thought it was going to be picked off, and he just didn't come up with the football. It was like he underestimated where the ball was, or I just thought it was going to be a clean pick.
I got it. Maybe they put some flubber on it.
There you
For those
go.
people of a certain age know what I'm talking about. and Flubber just avoided Chicala's hand.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a pick, no matter what, and unfortunately for Western, it didn't happen. So Western Illinois really has given up a couple big plays here in the second half, the run by Tyler and now the touchdown play, and they were able to overcome that penalty that sent them behind the sticks. First time tonight, Western has really not imposed their will on the Valparaiso offense.
38-10 the score, and the Leathernecks have 2:28 to kill here in the third quarter. Though, probably the focus will be make a first down. Let's get to the fourth quarter, change ends of the field, and use some clock on this possession. We'll see if they go back to the ground. The kick goes to the far side of the field, about 4 yards deep. Chicala makes a decision to come out. Cuts back to his right. He's over the 20. He's over the 25. Oh, he got tripped up just before he took off full speed and is down at about the 26-yard line. That was one player away from Chicala Warden saying, see ya, bye.
Yeah, he gets up a little bit limping, and I was thinking, no. Then I was thinking, go. And the turf monster, he got a hand got on him, and I thought he was going to maintain his balance, but the turf monster reached up and got him, but a really nice job. Got it up past the 25-yard line.
I like the way the return game is shaping up. Anaya, and then that last time, a nice return by Nieves on the punt, and now Chicala with a couple of nice kick returns. And Damari Davis is the preferred choice back there. They just don't want to use him until he's 100%. Irvin's back in at quarterback. Big run. Irvin stayed with the play. Look at that. That was a nice play by Irvin because he looked back behind him to see that Brinston Williams was still coming. So Chris threw a block downfield, and Brinston's able to pick up 8 yards, a second down and 2.
Yard gain for the Leathernecks. Second down.
I just glanced back to see Chris throwing a shoulder into somebody because he saw Brinston right on his tail. 3 wide receivers to the left. Brinston Williams stays in the backfield on the left side of Irvin. Tight end Lanier set up tight on the right. And on second down and short, handoff to Brinston. He's got the first down, and Williams is out over the 35 to about the 38-yard line. And I think the Leathernecks have a couple of backs that they can rotate. They're both pretty effective.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Williams is getting a lot of time. I think he was a little dinged up in the first 2 games, so he didn't get a lot of carries in terms of that, getting healthy again. And now he's kind of really giving Holman a break. Holman had really a good first half, and now Williams is getting the bulk of the carries.
Now Williams checks out. That should be Holman in on the right side of Irvin. Play action to Holman. Deep down the left side of the field. Receiver is open behind the defense, and a great catch. A diving catch for the Leathernecks. Number 81, A.J. Harris, makes his first appearance of the season. A.J. is a junior out of Chicago, and what a catch, Doc. Where's he been? Holy smokes, all the way down to the Valpo 26-yard line.
Yeah, really made it a nice adjustment on the ball. Was thrown to the outside, and he just turned and went with it and made a great catch.
Harris goes wide right this time. Flags fly just off the snap of the ball. This might come back against the Leathernecks for illegal procedure. The pass was too deep in the end zone, incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, who ran 20 yards through the end zone and is just now coming back to the field.
Defense number 18 in the neutral zone at the snap.
Oh, defensive penalty on Valpo lining up in the neutral zone. The neutral zone, or as they used to call it back in the days of war, the DMZ.
Correct.
It is first down and 5 now for the Leathernecks as they approach the red zone. They're down to the 21-yard line. And out to the right goes Fabian Baez, wide right all the way to the numbers. Coming in motion, and now he will stop behind Alex Williams. There's a handoff, and there goes Brinston Williams to the 5, to the 2. Did he get in? Touchdown! Leathernecks. Brinston Williams from 21 yards out.
That was a burst. Nice job by the offensive line. It was like Moses parting the sea there with very patient. Saw the seam split through, went in the end zone, open the refrigerator, get yourself a cold one. Pay dirt, Western Illinois.
Well, you better have 5 of them in there for the offensive line on that play because they look like they were thirsty.
Yeah, that was a really nice job by the right side of the offensive line. Great patience by Williams. Waited for the seam, and then it exploded. He had one guy to beat, and then 2 guys jumped on him on the 2, and he carries him in the end zone.
Center is James Duran. Dorian Arguelles, the right guard. Matt Montgomery, the right tackle. All the credit to them on that one. Here's a fake. Rodrigo picks it up, heads to the corner of the end zone, dives, and they say yes, he made it. 2-point conversion by the backup punter and the holder, Rocco Federico, a redshirt freshman, the kid from Macomb, Michigan. He takes it in and dives it in, and the Leathernecks try to run a little bit of trickeration there in the extra point to see if they've got something good on that play, and it happens very nicely. 46-3 Western, 46-10. 32.7 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Necks put another one on the board as they drive. Let's see here, from the 26, 74 yards. Downfield, big play, a huge catch, first catch of his career here at Western for A.J. Harris. Got the Leathernecks down deep into Valpo territory. And then Brinston Williams burst through the middle, big hole, opened up on the offensive line for a 21-yard touchdown. That is your Rich Weston Remax scoring drive recap. And the Leathernecks have the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage now 46-10 as the kicking team takes to the field. Doc? Offense is back where it was, at least numbers-wise, last year.
Yeah, number-wise, they're putting it up tonight, doing a really nice job. In that sense, starting to execute, getting into more of a flow and a rhythm tonight. It looks like, you're as their play calls are stacking up on each other and are using.
The successful try is under further review.
Oh, they're going to take time to review an extra point.
So the offense has really kind of gotten into a rhythm tonight with the play callers and Chris Irvin. I think Chris got a little more growth to do in terms of looking off receivers and trying to find, multiple people down the field. He hasn't really distributed the ball this much this game as he did the two previous games. And so, but really a nice job here by Western tonight.
And he's starting to find some guys in the second half.
Yes.
That was a great catch. It isn't up on the screen yet, but Baez has a catch tonight. Holman, Williams with a touchdown, Holman with a touchdown catch. That's 3 touchdown passes now on the night for Chris. And you got a catch from Brandon Lanier that's not recorded up on the stat sheet yet. And, of course, the one from A.J. Harris that just happened. And he looks like he could be a weapon down the road. I mean, he's a big guy. He's about, let's see, they got him listed at 6'5". No, 6'1", 170. The font that they use to give us the rosters, folks, is not an old person friendly font.
No, it's like 4-point font.
Yeah, it might be less than that tonight.
Yeah, it's like you can't. I don't have a clue. I'm going to have to make my own roster and blow it up and put it up, take it with me all the time.
Let me look in this program that Rick and the guys at Royal came up with and see if I can get a size off that young man this way. Oh, look at that. That's much bigger. Harris, 6'1", 205 junior.
There we go. Yeah, very nice.
Beautiful pictures of all the players.
I couldn't see because the wall blocked my view. Was it a fake punt or was it a bobbled snap?
It was fake. He stood right up with it.
So I'm sure people are asking, well, why do you go for 2 when you're up so many? Are you trying to run the score up? Here's the deal. That was one of the things that you look at from a coaching perspective. In the previous kicks, Valpo was crashing on the end, coming
getting closer.
And getting closer and coming down hard. So what you do is you kind of let him go through and just run around him, and that's exactly what you did. So those are plays you got to practice at some point in time when you may really need them.
And it could come into play in a close game in conference play down the road. A kick goes out of the back of the end zone again from Antonio Chata. They'll mark it at 25. It'll be first down for Valpo from there with 32.7 seconds left in the third quarter. Well, I thought, the Leathernecks needed to use some clock and run out the third quarter, get it to the fourth. Instead, they score a touchdown in about a minute and a half. I'll take the touchdown a minute and a half.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, this is a game where Valpo's playing up. There are certain things that go on, like when we played up in the Big Ten, and certain expectations. And from a coaching staff, from a Western Illinois coaching staff standpoint, you want to see what you have, right?
Yep.
You want to see where you're pretty somewhat evenly matched, and so let's open up the playbook a little bit more, which they have tonight, and let's see what we're able to do.
Referee throws a flag after the play started. One of the officials was in the middle of the offensive formation, had to try to dodge a couple of players, and I think the guy in the white hat bailed him out because they weren't ready to start the play. The Leatherneck defense came on the field late. Valpo snapped the ball, and let's see what it is.
The offense snapped the ball prior to the officials being ready and the defense being set. That's a delay of game. Offense number 11. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's an interesting call. They call it delay. It's actually they were trying to speed up the game, but they delay it by doing what they did. They snapped it before the officiating crew was ready, and you can't do that.
Yeah, the official has to be out of his position of holding. He was standing
right behind the center.
So basically, if you follow Illinois football, Brett Belima's kind of getting some heat for his late substitutions coming in because you have as much time as you need to get them onto the field. And so Western Illinois was late getting in, and they tried to snap the ball early.
Karan Tyler, flush from the pocket, heads up the right sideline. He's over the 30. He looked to lower the shoulder against number 4. Washington thought better of it and ran out of bounds. And Kevin Washington thought better about hitting him, didn't want that penalty, so he let him run out of bounds at the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 3 after a scramble of 12 yards by Karan Tyler.
Kevin Washington Jr.
2nd and 3. This will be the last play, should be, of the third quarter. There's 15 seconds left unless they throw an incompletion. Clock winding down now to 10 left in the period. Tyler turns, hands off, good run, big tackle. Christian Pierce hits Manzare and knocks him down. Coming up from the bottom is Buju, and that'll expire the clock here in the third quarter. We'll switch ends. Leathernecks lead this one 44-10 because we didn't catch the announcement on the extra point. They took it off the board. And they said his knee was down at the 1, and I didn't announce that, and I apologize. But it's 44-10 Western, as that 2-point conversion didn't count. And we go to timeout, and we'll come right back with the fourth quarter of play. You're listening to Leathernecks football on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leathernecks Sports Network.
When you think local service, you want someone who knows your area and knows you. At Cascom, we are local and provide the local service you expect as well as the most reliable internet speeds available. Our technicians, our sales force, and our service representatives are all from your communities and provide an experience you can relate to. We are here for you and our community. To find out more, call today at 800-252-1799.
Ready to transform the way you bank? Try My Banker Interactive Teller Machines, also known as ITMs, at Mid-America National Bank. Hi, this is Harley Barnard. Skip the lines and connect with a live, local teller through video at any of our ATMs. Deposit checks, withdraw cash, and get personalized assistance all at the touch of a button. Experience the future of banking today with Mid-America National Bank's My Banker ITMs. Mid-America National Bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody, up here in the booth at Hanson Field, which is very, very warm tonight. And my headsets that I have that we use during the games have some black rubber coating on the earpieces, and sometimes that black rubber coating comes off. And Doc had a couple. I looked up, I thought you had bugs on your head, but it was just this black coating. And then I thought I'd be like a mama gorilla and sit there and pick it off. So you don't have all that stuff on your chrome dome up here.
I looked down at my sheet and I can't read the numbers because all my sweat's dripped on everything we've written on. And it's like, who's that?
It's a hot one tonight, folks. We're still summer for another week, and these ROTC guys wearing the full uniforms, crazy as they walk down below us. They are decked out in full gear. 3 wide receivers to the left, low snap to Tyler. He's going to try to cut to his right, and he'll be bottled up after a short gain by the Leatherneck defense. Some subs in there again for the Leathernecks. We'll try to catch them as they make plays. But still also some of the big guys up front. Trace Brown is back in there. He's coming out now as Riven, Harrington McKinney, Miller, and a very talented young man, number 25, Jalen Nicholas. Pure freshman out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Really impressing the coaching staff. Had a sack against a Big Ten team. That's a good way to start your career. He's out there at left defensive end right now. Big Jalen Riven on the right side. 2nd down and 7. Tyler in the pocket. Has some room. Looks to throw, and he missed his man. Led him a little bit too far at the Leatherneck 40. It falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, on that play, Western Illinois didn't get home, and Tyler had enough time to throw the football, and he had an open receiver in the middle of the zone, just not able to make the throw. Western Illinois getting a little lackadaisical there on the defensive side of the football. They had an open man running right up down the middle of the post pattern between the 2 safeties.
And with the starting defensive line in there, some backups behind him, I'm sure part of the message here from Landon Fox is I would like to see a stop. I don't care who's on the field. And if you don't get some stops, the starters are going to go back in there and play until they do. Taylor gets hit from behind, throws it down the sideline. A leaping grab made right in front of Christian Pierce, who had the man covered down the sideline like a glove, but the receiver timed it perfectly, leaps up in the air and makes the catch.
And sometimes you can do everything right on the defensive side of the ball. That ball was thrown perfectly to the outside. Nobody could get it but the receiver, but a nice job there by Valparaiso on the throw and catch.
I think it was Jay Melcury, number 4, if I can see that number, which is 90 yards away from me. Hand off inside. Riven crashes down from right defensive end, and the pile lands at about the 39-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 2, second down and 8. Mansory on the carry.
2 yards, second down and 8.
Jalen Riven, big guy, great voice, great singer. And remember last year, to hear the team break into the school song on the airplane after the win down at Charleston, their first conference win and their first conference game together, that was awesome.
That was a defining moment.
Tyler hands off to the second guy, and he had a fake to the wide receiver coming through like a jet sweep, then gave it to the tailback, and that was slow to develop, gave the Leathernecks time to bottle it up for a loss and push him back to the 40-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 9. And they can't block Jalen Riven right now.
No, and Washington really did a nice job on that play from his middle linebacker position. Stayed home, read the fake, and then just kind of exploded in the backfield and got there at the same time Riven did for a short gain of 1.
I've heard you say stayed home more than 3 weeks than they did most of the year last year. These guys are really playing their positions as coached.
Yeah, you got to play your responsibility.
Tyler looks right, comes back to the left. It's complete to Ricchetti. And Ricchetti will gain about 5 yards down inside the 35 to the 34, but well short of a first down. 4th down and 4, and this has been that iffy area for Valpo. They don't have a kicker that they trust from 50 yards, but it's a pretty short punt. At this point in the game, I'm thinking the offense just stays out there and goes for it. Down 44-10 as the clock approaches the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, I expect Henry to keep the ball, Tyler, to keep the ball this time on this play. He's been their most effective runner.
4th down and 4 from the Leatherneck 34. Man goes in motion. Tyler drops back to pass. Looks, then takes off up the middle. He'll get that first down and slide to the turf where he gave himself up. Should be around the 29, about a yard past the sticks.
Yeah, that was just a design quarterback draw. They sent everybody out to the outside to the numbers, which cleared the linebackers out of the middle of the field, and Western Illinois didn't stay in their rushing lanes, and Tyler just stepped up and got the first down. Well-designed play.
Good design play, as you said. And it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of the Leathernecks. James Van Kaka is on the right cornerback. On the left side, I'm still looking for the number there. I know we got some backups for the Leathernecks in here. Tyler goes back to pass. That was a slow-developing play-action play, and as he turned to run the other way, he was swallowed up. Big number 90.
Brock Sperling on the sack for the Leathernecks.
No, number 50. Brock Sperling, who made a big play at the end of the first half, comes up with a sack here to put it all the way back to the 38-yard line, a loss of 9, 2nd down and 19. Brock Sperling is looking good in his playing time tonight.
6 wings. Get us 6 free wings with the WIU ticket.
10:38 clock runs. Leathernecks with a big lead. They're in control, 44-10. Final score, the only question at this point. Here comes Tyler, and they blow the whistle and stop the play. Leathernecks were crashing in from everywhere.
One sack. Timeout. Valparaiso.
Valparaiso called timeout before the play began.
Immediate timeout.
And it's immediate timeout. So with 10:30 to play, 44-10 lead for Western. We will take a timeout and come right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
From the farmer to the DIYer, the homeowner with a yard to mow to the landscaper with hundreds to mow, at Heritage Tractor, we are deeply committed to your unique needs. We're here for you, and we're here for the long haul. We're not just located here, but we're part of this place. Our John Deere equipment and highly trained staff empower you to turn dreams into reality. Whether it's tending to your fields, running a business, or enhancing your piece of paradise, in all the ways that matter, Heritage Tractor is here for you.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped me get to the first day at my career, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from my service helped me buy my first home. And I take pride knowing I will be the first to respond if my community ever needs me. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
Just wow, some interesting scores we got coming up for you. Just like the guys in the field, we have to stay hydrated too, because my lips might get cramped up here from talking all night long. BJ Stone, Dr. Tom Cody, 10:30 to play, and the Leathernecks are on top by a score of 44-10. Getting touchdowns from lots of sources tonight. 3 rushing touchdowns. Holman, Williams, Irvin. 3 receiving touchdowns. Davis, Williams, that's Alex Williams, Brinston Williams with a rushing touchdown. And Holman, who has 2 scores tonight, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. Antonio Chata with a 48-yard field goal. Leathernecks with 44 on the board. They went for 2 in the last touchdown. Thought they had it. It was initially signaled good, but then those points taken off the board upon further review. Right now, Valpo, with the ball on the 38-yard line, is looking at a 2nd down and 19, and they've just had to burn a timeout. First one they've used here in the second half. Leathernecks had to burn one early, remember, so both teams with 2 timeouts left. Leathernecks on the road next week, get on a plane Friday, and we fly out to actually Spokane, Washington, right?
Yep, it's going to be a long
trip. And then
trip.
a bus drive down to Cheney.
Correct.
Which isn't that far, but that's a long trip either way. You know what? I've seen a lot of states in my life. I'm sure you've seen more than I have. Most of the states I've seen are in the West, but Washington is the one that I haven't. Yeah, first trip into the state of Washington, the Apple State.
Well, I was out there one time when my brother was stationed out there and went out and had a nice visit.
On 2nd and 19, Taylor drops to pass. Now he's flushed. He takes off. He gains a little over 10, slides down into a crowd of Leathernecks. And the slide sometimes is a dangerous play because if you're standing there with your legs locked and he comes in and kicks you, man, that could hurt you bad. You got to kind of get out of the way. It's 3rd down and 10. He got 9 yards back all the way to the 29. And when you got a guy coming that fast and he goes into a slide feet first, if you're a shortstop making a double play, you try to get out of the way. And you're a defensive back in this game, you try to get out of the way.
Slid right on the OVC logo, which allows you to slide a little faster.
Yeah, that OVC purple paint is slippery. 3rd down and 10 from the 29 of the Leathernecks. Taylor got the team in the end zone the last time they had the ball. And he's trying to get another score for Valpo. Drops back, fires it down the left side. Got the man behind the defender, makes the catch. Oh, beautiful pitch and catch. And, wow, what a nice catch on the play. I initially thought that was number 2, but that's the quarterback's number.
Completion to Chris Gundy.
Chris Gundy, again, number 9. Why does a 2 and a 9 look so much alike in these uniforms? Gundy has done that a couple of times. Diving out of bounds at the 2. He got behind the corner, and it was a nice throw from Taylor. And that time it looks like the Leathernecks were offsides unless they were drawn off. We shall see. Half the distance to the goal would only be about a yard at this point.
Offside. Defense number 50 with contact. That's half the distance from the goal. Still 1st down.
So it does go against number 50, Brock Sperling. Sperling listed as a linebacker, but he's playing in a down lineman spot here in the second half, and he's been all over the place. Recovered a fumble. I do believe it was him that recovered a fumble anyway, and he has the big sack. All right, 1st and goal, 1 yard line. Taylor, fade in the corner. Flag flies, catch made, but the official wasn't watching. He had already thrown a flag and was heading back to the middle of the field.
Play was dead. Western Illinois jumped off sides again.
So they blew it dead before they made the throw. We can't hear the whistle up there.
Prior to the snap, offside. Defense number 97 with contact. Half the distance to the goal line. Still 1st down.
That time Payne Miller was trying to get a good jump into the backfield. Into the lineup comes Keyshawn Harrington McKinney. And 32, Dave Dunston also checks into that defensive line. And it's 1st down and goal from about the 6-inch line for Valparaiso. Taylor, with 13 on the play clock, changes the play, has empty backfield. 1 wide receiver out here to the right, or to the left, 3 to the right. He'll drop back and fire a fade into the corner. Leatherneck defender gets a hand up, knocks it away. Good coverage. And that linebacker was giving up a lot of speed over there, but a good play by Justin Buckner, 205-pound outside linebacker from Chicago, a freshman, to stay with the receiver and then turn around in time to bat it down.
Yeah, if he could have just got his head around a little bit sooner, he probably picks that ball off because it's underthrown. Tyler there just kind of threw it out trying to get it to the corner of the end zone. Kind of surprised they're not running the football, but on the last 2 plays, they've gone to the fade pattern.
8:52, clock runs. No, clock is stopped after the incompletion, 44-10. This time they pitch it, trying to run it into the end zone, diving forward and getting there. Touchdown, Valparaiso. It's DeWyan McNeely, the 215-pounder, diving in. And Valpo has scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half.
There for a touchdown, Valparaiso.
And Valparaiso has 16 on the board to the Leatherneck 44 with the extra point forthcoming. You know, last year, if somebody would have told you we were going to allow 17 in a game, they'd be pretty happy with that. It's almost a disappointment after holding them to 3 through 2.5 quarters to see Valpo jump on the board and get a couple of extra scores here. Now it's 44-17 as the extra point. Nope, it's good. No good. They say it's no good. 44-16. It was wide left. So we go to a timeout. Western will get the ball back with 8:41 to play and leading by 28 points, 44-16. You're listening to Leatherneck football on the Illinois Farm Bureau, Leatherneck Sports Network.
Leatherneck Athletics congratulates Aaliyah Adams, the Ohio Valley Conference Female Athlete of the Meet, for her performance at the OVC Indoor Track and Field Championship held February 21st and 22nd in Birmingham, Alabama. Adams won both the long jump and triple jump at the championships. Adams also took second place in the 60-meter hurdles and led the Leathernecks to a third-place finish in the conference championship meet. Leatherneck Athletics congratulates Aaliyah and her coaches, Rob Tarpley and Trey Brokaw.
Tim Gould Farms in Henry County. He trusts Illinois Farm Bureau to have his back, and so can you.
Farm Bureau has a very large impact on local communities and on the state level. There's different avenues of communications, such as Farm Week, Ag Safety, Ag in the Classroom, scholarship programs. Between an off-the-farm job, the farm, and family, my life without Farm Bureau would feel as though I'm on my own.
The Illinois Farm Bureau Advantage. Impactful advocacy, trusted information, and meaningful development.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
They haven't been doing that first time. Back here at Western Illinois University and Hanson Field. And we were just discussing, you may have heard the end of our conversation there. The first half, the receivers were not getting open for Valparaiso, but they've had a lot of guys wide open here in the second half. And you want your defense to get that energy and I don't know what word I'm looking for here. You want them to get that the domination back.
Yeah, maintain discipline. You can't take and. Again, not saying they're taking plays off, but it's like, okay, we're up by 35 points here. They're not playing with the same intensity as they had the first half. Let's put it that way.
A lot of words that they'll use in the locker room after the game. Focus will be one of them, I think.
I think that's a good one.
I think if you get too happy with the 44-3 lead, we got to talk about that because we want to end the game 44-3 if we can. Once you get up by that margin, you don't want to see that gap close.
Well, it's one of those things you got to learn how to finish games, right?
Yep.
You got to learn how to finish games, and so you got to practice that. And this is the way you practice it in a blowout. You come out and you finish a game, not let them score, because when you get into a tight game and you have to finish it and get a 3 and out or those types of things, it's not the first time you've done that. You've wrapped up the intensity, you've kept the discipline there, those types of things. So that's just part of the learning process.
And some will say, well, they got the backups in. Yes and no. There's been starters shuffling in and out, so there's always been a starter or two out there, it seems. But if I'm a second string or third string guy, I'm going to try to impress these coaches and say, look at me play.
Yeah.
I want to play more. And I want to make a play, and I want to make a big tackle. I want to, stay in my area. I want to do my job. I want to discipline. I don't want to let a guy get behind me. And let's see if the Leathernecks can adjust here before the end of the game. We're not being negative. We're not trying to be, because they're playing a heck of a game tonight. Leathernecks up big, 44-16. Offense has been good. Defense has been great, particularly in the first half. Here's Chacala Warden out of the end zone, out over the 20 and spun down around the 23-yard line. Leathernecks have 402 unofficial yards, but time of possession is big in favor of Valpo. 29-54 to 21-23 through the 50-minute mark of the game. And a lot of that has to do with Leatherneck's with quick strike tonight. They've been able to score quickly on some of their drives. Obviously, 402 yards. They're averaging 8.55 yards per play. But Valpo's now up to 261 yards, making the stats look a little bit closer than they really are. And now the Leathernecks have a chance to put them away here with a long finishing touches drive. Here we go on first down. Irvin will throw on the slant. Defender gets an arm in there and knocks it away from Fabian Baez.
Headed for Baez. Ball's incomplete. Brings up second.
Yeah, just a little play action, one-man route right up the kind of on a inside slant there, and just not able to get it. Good coverage there by the Valparaiso defender. Ball was just a little bit behind him. He was able to knock it down.
Alex Williams goes to the slot on the left. To the outside goes Baez. On the right, it's Anaya. The running back in the lineup right now is Ernest Temple, making his first appearance of the night. He will switch from the right side to the left side of Irvin. Ernest, a 215-pound junior from Chicago. A lot of kids from Chicago chose to come here and play for Western this year, and Ernest gets his first carry of the night and doesn't go very far. Valpo making the stop after no gain, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, nothing going on the offensive line that time for Western Illinois, and people had nowhere to go with the football. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll now be It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 for the Fighting Leathernecks.
Princeton Williams checks back into the running back spot. Look for Christian Anaya to come up big here. Looks like he'll have one-on-one coverage on the far side of the field up with the numbers. And now Brandon Lanier, the tight end, goes in motion to the slot on that side. Urban sees some room up the middle and takes off, trying to get to the first down marker. He takes a big hit at the 30-yard line, just short of the first down. That safety turned and left his man and came up and put a lick on Chris about 2 yards short of first down at the 31. It'll be 4th and 2. Leatherneck offense will stay out there. And this is a sign of Joe Davis saying, guys, we're going to do this. We're going to do it the way I want it done. Let's get a first down and keep this ball moving. One wide receiver wide left. 2 wide right now. Williams will go in motion. Handoff goes to Ernest Temple. Temple's got the first down. He's over the 35 to the 36. If he gets through those 2 guys, he's gone. There's nobody behind him. But Ernest Temple moves the chains, and that's what Coach Joe Davis wanted to see.
Yeah, he wanted to see what kind of effort you're going to get out of it on 4th down here. And so really a nice job that time by the right side again on the offensive line where they kind of go – they're running to the left, and he stops and cuts it back almost on a delayed draw, picks up the first down.
Leatherneck's approaching 200 rushing yards on the game unofficially. Pass. Oh, what a diving catch by Brandon Lanier. Holy cow, Doc. He got his hands out there, makes the catch at the 41-yard line, a gain of 5.
Yeah, really nice catch by Lanier. Still in the ball game, has a couple nice catches tonight, but really went out, reached out, grabbed it with both hands. Great catch. Good timing on the play.
Second catch for Lanier. They'll finally put him in the books here for one. They haven't got one in there yet. And on 2nd down and 5, snap comes. Irvin pulls it away from Holman, keeps it himself up the middle. He's got some room. Into Valpo territory. He's inside the 40-yard line and down to the 39. Good to see Chris Irvin take off and run like that. We knew he had that ability. And it's first down Leathernecks at the Valpo 39-yard line. Irvin's longest run of the night.
Yeah, really nice ball fake there time by Irvin. Did a nice job of riding Temple through the on the ride there. Everybody thought he had it, so the whole Valpo line went with him that direction, and Chris pulled it and found the seam.
If you carry out your fakes as a running back, you can really help your quarterback. After he takes off with the ball, same play, Irvin pulls it out, and he'll throw this time. Looks like the catch was made. The official says, yes, he did catch it. That is number 1, Fabian Baez with another catch.
Same play that was just incomplete a little minute ago where they do the ride and hit Baez on the slant down the middle. This time they're able to make the connection for 7.
So it goes down to the 32-yard line. Leathernecks have to get to the 29 for a first down. Clock is down to 5:20 and keeps running. Leathernecks will use most of the play clock here, I would imagine, as they send Baez wide left, 2 wide receivers out to the right. And did Princeton Williams check back in? Yes, he did. Fake to Williams, slant route, caught by Anaya, spins, turns, goes the other way, takes it to the outside and brought down outside the numbers, but in play where the clock stays running inside the 15, and then a late hit and a flag. One of the Leatherneck linemen was downfield and got blistered well after the play was over, and I think that'll go against Valpo.
Yeah, I thought Christian Nye, if he just catches the ball and continues to run straight, there's nobody there, but he catches it, stops, spins on a dime, comes back, picks up another 10 yards, and then we have the extracurriculars going on. The offensive lineman for Western Illinois couldn't see the number, gets a block just at the whistle, and then the Valpo defender took offense to that and got up and knocked him to the ground.
And you love to see the lineman getting downfield to block.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 63. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 4. Those fouls offset. They were dead ball fouls. It's first down.
So the ball stays at the 14, first down. They call it after the play, so a dead ball foul on both teams, no movement of the ball either way. And I think Duran kind of got the short end of the stick there. He got hit pretty hard after the play. I didn't see him hit anybody after the whistle. Maybe close to the end of the whistle. All right, 2 wide receivers each way. Irvin pitches it right to Brinston Williams. Williams tosses it towards the end zone. Catch made. Touchdown, Leathernecks. I can't see the number down there in that corner, Doc. Is that 0?
Yes.
So a touchdown for the Leathernecks, and wide receiver Eric Denham makes his first catch and first touchdown in the Leatherneck uniform.
Yeah, Williams is 1 for 1 for a touchdown. Nice career going on for him from the quarterback position.
That was a nice throw.
Nice throw there.
Was it Anaya last week that was 1 for 1 on the option?
Open the kitchen door, get to the refrigerator, pull out a cold one. Western Illinois pay dirt again.
By this time, you got to drive down to the store and get some more. Extra point from Chata is good. And with 4:47 to play, Western Illinois 51 and Valpo 16. And the Leathernecks will be kicking it off when we come back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
Grit. It's that thing inside of you that ignites passion and empowers you to envision a world full of possibility. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks are made with this grit. It starts here, in this field, in this room, on this court, and in this lab. We refuse to blend in because our purple stands out. Apply today at wiu.edu.
Prairie Land FS is a full-service agricultural supplier dedicated to providing high-quality products and services for the purpose of improving customer profitability. We're known for our customer service in and out of the fields. We are neighbors serving neighbors for over 100 years and promise to provide complete seed and application service to all our customers. Our trained energy specialists, along with our crop specialists, can help you take your business to the next level. Prairie Land FS, your leading supplier of choice.
Leathernecks football is on Q981FM.com.
4:47 to play on a warm late summer night here in September. And the Leathernecks have a 51-16 lead. Can we reveal our picks at this point, you think?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah, we can.
We can?
Yeah.
Nick Gordon from the Sports Information Department asked me before the game on the ride up here, what do you think the score is going to be, BJ? I said, I'm guessing 52-17. And it's 51-16 with both teams missing an extra point. He asked Doc, what do you think? Doc says, I think
we're going to win by 35 is what I said.
We're up by 35. So who wins the prediction?
Yeah, that's me.
Why? Antonio Chada's on the 40-yard line waiting for his teammates. Josh Caraway coaching up the special teams here, making sure that if the ball is returned, that the Leathernecks stay in their lanes and get a tackle and don't let Valpo get good field position or more. Western up to 479 yards after that last drive. And it was wrapped up by a 14-yard touchdown pass from Brinston Williams.
So it was a toss sweep
they
to
said
Williams.
Brandon Lanier, but it was 0, right?
I thought it was 0, but I can't.
Too small for Brandon. He's a big guy. Well, they have Antoine McKay through the pass. That's not right. It was definitely Brinston.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Lanier, they say, has the catch, but I think it was 0. Eric Denham But to make it official with a 14-yard touchdown to wrap up that drive, and the Leathernecks push it down the field again, converting at one point on 4th down to keep that drive alive. That's your Rich Weston RE/MAX scoring drive recap. And we've had a few of those tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, it was nice to get those early in the first quarter. We got the Dominoes stop in the first quarter. It's been a good night for that.
Chada booms it into the end zone about 3 yards deep, and the young man's going to come out with it. Ricchetти has been in returning kicks tonight bravely, and he slides back across the grain, and that's where the coverage breaks down, and here he goes. He's at the 30, the 40. Now he's at midfield. Chada tries to make the tackle, the diving attempt, can't come up with it. 30-yard line, 20, 10, touchdown Valpo. Oh, my goodness, 102 yards, and there's going to be some heck to pay with Coach Josh Carraway with the special teams on that one. They all crashed to the near side of the field, and Ricchetti was able to cut it back the other way.
Yeah, and Ricchetti's going to get a 15-yarder. He came after scoring. He came from the other side of the field through the end zone, ran in front of the Western Illinois bench, mouthing off, and so he just got a 15-yarder.
You're down by 35, and you're going to taunt. Very interesting. Here comes our official. Still hasn't said anything. Flag still lays it to 30. They're still lined up close to kick the 20-yard extra point chip shot. But I think he's want to back him up, or is he going to take it on the kickoff?
I think you have to take it on the kickoff because it was
after the play was over.
After the play was over.
Conduct. Return team number 14 for taunting. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. The touchdown is good.
All right, so they score again, 51-22. And the big margin we were looking for and the big blowout win is still a good-sized win, but just not what it could have been, it seems. You get that feeling.
It just kind of lends itself to the conversation we were having beforehand. It's like, that was the same kind of kickoff return that Illinois did on the punt return. They set up the wall to this side of the field to our right, to the kicking team's right, which, was the same thing on the punt team. This time, nobody stayed in their lanes, and then they just stopped and he broke it back, and everybody had collapsed. The outside guy who's supposed to maintain leverage wasn't there, and then Chada can't make the tackle.
And the extra point was good, and more flags, more chippiness after the play, and you hate to see that. And the officials will discuss. Leathernecks will now send out the kick return team again. Valpo gets the special teams touchdown, which does not bode well for practice next week for the special teams.
No.
After the try, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 97 for taunting. That 15-yard penalty will cancel out the previous unsportsmanlike conduct by Valparaiso. The ball will be kicked off at the 35-yard line.
So instead of getting the kick from the 20, they get it back to the 35 after the 15-yard dead ball foul on the Leathernecks after the play. Got to keep your head. And the Leathernecks will get one more chance to put it in the end zone, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it here with 4:28 to play.
As much as has gone on extracurricular here, and, Western Illinois just didn't finish it. We've talked about you got to play correctly all the time and learn how to finish games, and I know Coach Davis will not be happy with this fourth quarter. And we're not trying to be negative in terms of that. Western Illinois has come out, did exactly what they thought they would do, did a really nice job in terms of that, and they could be tired because of heat or those types of things, but you want to see teams learn how to finish.
You want to finish with strength instead of allowing 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns, as they have done. But it's still, like we said, 51-23 in a night to celebrate Western Illinois football, going to pick up their first win of the 2025 season. Line drive, Chicala Warden takes it at the 5. Here he comes, over the 20, over the 25. He tries to get to the outside and then bring him down right there at the 25. He'd like to answer right there with a touchdown of his own.
I think that was on his mind there on that kick return.
But Valpo stays in their lanes. They do a nice job. And they drop him after a 20-yard return at the 25-yard line. Leathernecks offense has a lot of long drives tonight, Doc, but they're really not sustained drives. They're big play drives, which we like to see.
Yeah, that's reminiscent of last year's big play offense that we got used to seeing as the year went on.
So let's see who's in at quarterback. Is it still Chris Irvin, or do we make a change at the QB spot for the Leathernecks? They will wait to snap the ball. Leathernecks have 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Lanier is off the line of scrimmage. And I think the Leathernecks going to call timeout. They're a little bit confused.
Western Illinois, the first and a half.
TC Mulk, a junior from Dover, Ohio, is in at quarterback, number 7. And was trying to get everybody arranged the way he wanted them, and it didn't quite work out, so the Leathernecks used their second timeout. 4:20 to play. Last week, we saw Kason Carswell for the first time, and he threw a touchdown pass late against Northwestern to get the Leathernecks on the board. Looked very good. We saw Tanner Zolnowski in Game 1 against Illinois, and again here tonight, Game 3, and he was fantastic on the ground with should be 5 carries for 60-some yards. And then tonight, now we're going to see TC Mulk, the 4th quarterback on the roster. Now, there was a 5th quarterback on the roster, Antoine McKay, but they like him at wide receiver because of his physical abilities and skill. He was a great runner in St. Louis in high school, East St. Louis area. So it was in the Missouri side, I think, and he has a lot of potential, and they want him to stay positive, stay focused, and get him out there as a wide receiver. So we're seeing the 4th quarterback in the room here, TC Mulk from Ohio. He's got Ernest Temple in the backfield with him. Got some new wide receivers out there as well. And TC hands off to Temple, and Temple barges forward and runs over a guy and wraps up after a gain of about 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Looking at the Leatherneck bench, don't see too many guys with very serious injuries, maybe precautionary. Damari Davis is sitting on the bench. He looked a little bit banged up, but he has been banged up, and he's so tough. I don't doubt he'll be out here next week or on the red field in Washington.
Yeah, we get to go to the red field. That'll be, it doesn't look good on TV. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like in person.
It's going to hurt us trying to call numbers. Well, they give 10 yards to Temple on the play, and it's a first down to 35. Leatherneck's 27th first down of the night. On first down, he gets it again. Temple does. He sheds a tackler, busts through an arm tackle, takes it to the outside, and he will get over the 40. Or they say he stepped out just before the 40 at the 39, just about the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 6 from the 39. Temple looks good.
Temple's taking advantage. That's what we talk. Next man up mentality. Coach Davis talks about that all the time. And you take a look at that, and next man up, you get your opportunity. You've got to really take advantage of it.
Tyler Jordan, a 230-pound senior from Macon, Georgia, checks in at the running back spot now, and he'll line up to the left of TC Mulk as the clock runs with 2:58 to play. Mulk will throw for the first time through the hands of the intended wide receiver, and there he is, the guy we talked about, Antoine McKay, getting some PPT playing time, and he had that one go through his hands. A bullet from Mulk. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, it's too bad because that's a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, Antoine turns that into a touchdown. Nobody's there.
Nobody's there. I mean, it was a little high, went right through his hands, but if he just catches it with his speed, there's nobody going to catch him. There was nobody on that side of the field. He just runs through the zone and scores.
Cam Edwards, 6'4" redshirt freshman. Number 11 is also in right now from Louisville. He did some good things last year. I'd love to see him do some good things tonight. He's got a couple of minutes to make a play here. Mulk goes back, fires over the middle. It's picked off. Return man inside the 30, down the sideline to the 25, and he steps out of bounds inside the 20 as he threw it into a crowd of people. And now we've got extracurriculars on the Leatherneck sideline, but no flags. And the interception made for Valpo by, I think it's Jason Salmon, a sophomore, 5'9", 170-pounder. Number 22, does that look right?
On the interception.
Yeah, I can't tell because it's out of my purview here. So those of you who don't know our booth, we sit right on the 50, but the window's 4 feet wide. And so I can't see anything.
And it's way out in front of us.
It's way out in front of us, so I can't see anything down past the 30-yard line.
And likewise, to my right, I can't see the corner, and Doc has to watch it.
At the Leatherneck 20-yard line.
So they'll start from the Leatherneck 20 after picking off a pass. 2:45 to go. And Tyler's back on the field at quarterback. Rolling out to his right, firing into the end zone, through the hands of the intended receiver, who was open. Diving attempt, and he couldn't come up with it. Nick Buccaro was about a step late getting there in the defensive back position. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Tyler did a nice job of buying time, just not able to complete the play. Had an open receiver in the end zone.
51-23. Leathernecks are going to win the game. A little bit of a shine, a little bit of the luster has been taken off here in the fourth quarter as Valpo not quitting, not giving up, putting some points on the board. Just got an interception against the new quarterback for the Leathernecks. Now a handoff. There goes DeWyan for a touchdown. Valpo scores one more time as DeWyan McNeely is untouched from 20 yards, and it's 51-29. At some point, you got to remember that this team was up 38-3, 35-3, 38-3, and having a great night. But since then, Valpo has not given up. They will have 30 points on the board if they make this extra point, and they do. Leathernecks' lead is now 51-30, and still 2.5 minutes to play as Valpo puts another one on the board. It'll be a 30-second timeout, and they will go right back to the kickoff, so we'll keep it here. And we, Doc, again, more positives than negatives, but the negatives are happening here at the wrong time.
At the wrong time in the fourth quarter. It's like it kind of reminds me of Christmas. You get that big box open. You down there, you got this big box to open. You go down to open it. It's some small little thing on the inside. It's just like you're a little disappointed because for 3 quarters, Western Illinois really came out and dominated. And in this fourth quarter, they have lost their focus a little bit, I think, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep, they've given up too many points, that's for sure, here in the fourth quarter. The win will happen. The Leathernecks will go to 1-2 on the season, and it'll be a good performance on the scoreboard. But as the OVC Big South teams look at the film, they might see some things in the fourth quarter. The Leatherneck defense didn't do well, and they may take advantage of that. So I'm sure that the Leatherneck coaches won't be all smiles after the game. Be happy with the victory. You have to be happy whenever you win a college football game. It's not easy to do.
A win's a win. I mean, you're just looking at, you get your hopes up and you dominate a game, and then you just kind of take the fourth quarter off. And
kick stays in the field for Chicala Warden, so he'll bring it back again, and he gets it out over the 25. He's good north-south. He makes sure he gets positive yardage. He's not running laterally a lot, but he runs into the crowd, and they tackle him at the 26, and he hangs on to the football. That's all you can ask him to do. And again, he's kind of hobbling off like he's cramping up a little bit. He's returned a lot of kicks here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, he has.
Leatherneck offense again goes out with that same unit that was on the field. A lot of starters along the offensive line because the offensive line, frankly, is not real deep right now. But some new guys are out there getting a taste of college play. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's Antoine McKay down here in the bottom of the formation. The handoff will go up inside to... It's either Ernest Temple who has been playing, or it might be Tyler Jordan getting some carries. Nope, that was... Here comes Jordan from the sideline, and it was Temple that got the carry. Picked up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Clock approaching the 2-minute mark, and we'll have our 2-minute timeout. Leathernecks will bring the offense to the sideline and try to figure out how to run out this clock and end this night. Western Illinois, though, has the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage, 51-30 as we go to timeout on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
When it comes to your farm, you need more than just products. You need a trusted partner who understands your challenges. At West Central FS, they're here to support you season after season. From high-quality seeds to crop protection and custom application services, they ensure your fields get what they need to thrive. Plus, they provide diesel fuel, lubricants, and reliable propane to keep your equipment running smoothly. West Central FS, your partner in growing success. Contact them today.
That is the sound of bacon sizzling, of fresh vegetables being chopped for a made-to-order omelet, and the grill being fired up for one of the juiciest burgers around. Hungry yet? Hy-Vee Market Grill is better than ever, with mouth-watering new menu items for breakfast and lunch. Whether you dine in, get it to go, or have it delivered, the best breakfast and lunch is at Hy-Vee Market Grill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
You get everything you want. Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
Leathernecks lead it 51-30. It's what we call the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage. You can take advantage of that, too, by joining the Illinois Farm Bureau. I wanted to tell you about our home game coming up 2 weeks against Eastern Illinois. Stop by the bookstore, get your WIU gear before that next football game on Saturday, September 27th against Eastern. Show your purple pride. Shop at the bookstore. Coming up after the game, we have the post-game show brought to you by Nutrient Ag Solutions. We'll go over all of the stats from tonight and the scores from around the country that are pertinent to Leatherneck football. And wanted to also mention real quick that Compeer Financial wants you to be safe in this farm harvest season. We wish you a safe harvest year with a reminder to prioritize safety even in the rush. Give your local Compeer team a call, 844-426-6733, or visit Compeer.com for your ag lending needs. And they've been a proud sponsor and on board for many years, helping support Leatherneck athletics. All right, here come the Necks on 2nd down and 9. TC Moak still at the quarterback position. He's got number 4, Tyler Jordan, at running back with him. Moak wears number 7 on the offensive side. The Leathernecks have double numbers all the way through the single digits. Players love wearing single digits today, and I don't get it. Hockey used to be all single digits. Now they're all double digits, and high numbers have gone away from it. Each sport a little bit different. There's a run for Jordan up the middle, and he'll pick up 2 or 3 yards. He'll move the sticks to about the 29. It'll be 3rd down and 7. A gain of 2 for the young man. Princeton Williams checks back in.
Western Illinois just trying to eat as much time off of this clock so they can get off this field and get away with the win and go home tonight, and just kind of really struggling here in the last 2 series.
Close to 500 yards on offense and still haven't been able to pop over it. Play clock down inside 10 seconds now into the aforementioned single digits. Down to 5, down to 4, 3. Moak calls for the ball. Doesn't get it. He does get it, just barely in time. Hands off to Princeton Williams, and Williams almost broke it, but he gets hauled down from behind after a 5-yard gain. It'll be 4th down and 1 from the 34.5, maybe 4th and a long one.
Williams on the carry.
And Williams was 1 step away from taking off. Well, they mark him down to 39, 4th and 2. And Joe keeps the offense on the field again. Williams will stay out there.
Barkley on the tackle.
Using a whole bunch of clock. Leathernecks have 1 timeout left. They don't want to use it if they can help it. 2 timeouts left for Valpo. They don't want to use theirs. The game's pretty much been decided. But the Leathernecks going to try to keep the football until the end of it. They don't want Valpo to get it back. Here's Williams again. Puts his head down, gets hit at the line of scrimmage, busts off of that tackle, and gets the 1st down out near the 44, and that should be the last play of the game. Princeton Williams makes sure that the Leathernecks end the game with the football and go over 500 yards in the process of total offense, and nearly, Doc, 250 on the ground. That's a good total.
That's a really nice total.
1st down, 14 seconds. They're at the line of scrimmage. The play clock isn't running. It should be, because the play clock can still be different than the game clock. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Leathernecks will take it right there and shake hands. Western Illinois picks up their 1st win of 2025, 5th win for Joe Davis here in Macomb, and it's a 51-30 win over the Valpo Beacons, who were pretty quiet for 3 quarters and came alive a little bit in the 4th quarter. But the Leathernecks, with a 21-point margin of victory, will take win number 1 into the locker room. Doc, it was a very entertaining game in the first half if you're a Leatherneck fan.
Yeah, I thought for 3 quarters we played extremely well for 3 quarters in terms of that little tarnish on both sides of the ball in the 4th quarter. But I think, a lot of that could have had to do with the heat and, the long day that we had. But Western Illinois comes out and it really does what we thought they would do. They ran the football, 246 yards rushing the football, 507 yards total offense. That's what you really kind of expected to see out of a Joe Davis offense from last year. Finally kind of got it clicking tonight, got the good explosive plays. Chris Irvin did a pretty decent job, threw the 1 bad ball tonight. Otherwise than that, I thought he played a pretty solid game.
Defense was outstanding for 2.5 to maybe almost the end of 3 quarters. Had a little breakdowns in the 4th quarter, but at least the first unit was very solid, holding Valpo to just a couple of yards per play in the first half. They end up at about 4.68 yards per play, but still, they were bottled up by the Leatherneck defense in that first half for sure. The band plays, and the entire team jogs over to the far side of the field in this intense heat. to celebrate with their fellow students from Western Illinois in the band. It's also band day. There's a lot of days today.
A lot of days today.
And the Leathernecks football team celebrating with the band. Good to see as the Necks pull off the victory here, 51-30 over the Valpo Beacons. Valpo, good luck this year in the Pioneer League. We'll see how they do. And the Leathernecks will play their final non-conference game next week at Eastern Washington before opening conference play at home against Eastern Illinois on September 27th. But coming up next, we have the Nutrien Ag post-game show. Doc will have a whole bunch of stats for you. We'll check scores as well. We'll be right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau Leatherneck Sports Network.
Pizza just goes better with Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Pizza.
Thank you. But don't take our word for it. In fact, don't take any words for it. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. The crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
Grit. It's that thing inside of you that ignites passion and empowers you to envision a world full of possibility. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks are made with this grit. It starts here, in this field, in this room, on this court, and in this lab. We refuse to blend in because our purple stands out. Apply today at wiu.edu.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
At Western Illinois University Catering by Sodexo, their mission is to create unforgettable events by exceeding your expectations with innovative cuisine, exceptional service, and creative presentations. In addition to large-scale events, Sodexo Catering offers a specialized menu to fit costs for a limited budget for student meetings, community organizations, and informal meetings. To plan your next event, please call event coordinator Catherine Akers at 309-298-1292. If you have any questions regarding their services, simply email catering@wiu.edu.
At Apex Financial Associates, powered by Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, they focus on one-to-one financial advice, beginning with what's most important to you, from retirement and education planning to a major purchase like a second home. They provide investment, asset allocation, and portfolio recommendations based on your individual goals and personal risk tolerance. Give them a call at 309-864-6033 or stop by their new office location at 108 Northside Square in downtown Macomb. Let's go Leathernecks!
You're listening to Leatherneck Sports on Q98.1 WILP-FM Cuba Canton Macomb and on Q98.5 WLSB-FM Augusta Plymouth Bowen, the flagship stations of the Leatherneck Radio Network.
This is the flagship station for the Western Illinois Fighting Leathernecks, Q98.1.
Leathernecks close with the Illinois Farm Bureau advantage, 51-30 on the scoreboard, and win this one by 3 touchdowns. B.J. Stone and Dr. Tom Cody at Hanson Field in the sweltering press box for the Nutrien Ag Solutions postgame show, retail division of Nutrien Limited, which is a major crop inputs company. The folks at Nutrien Ag provide full acre solutions through a network of trusted crop consultants at more than 1,700 locations around the globe, including right here in central Illinois. And Dr. Cody, before we get into the game recap, what have you, let's get stats right quick because the Leathernecks did put up a lot of big yards tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Western Illinois, 27 first downs tonight, 15 for Valparaiso. Western Illinois, 246 yards rushing. So I know that was one of the keys of the game we talked about. They wanted to come out and establish the run. They did that. Western Illinois had 64 plays for 507 yards. Valparaiso, 60 plays for 281 yards, but almost the majority of that was in the fourth quarter. You take a look at passing yards, 261 for Western Illinois, 159 for Valparaiso, 18 of 27 for Valparaiso, 14 of 23 with 2 interceptions, though, for Western Illinois. Western Illinois did get a blocked punt, but then also gave up a 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Third down efficiency, Western Illinois was only 3 of 10, and I think that's an area that they've got to learn to clean up on, though they were 3 of 3 on fourth down. Western Illinois lost the time of possession. You put up 51 points, and you only had 29 minutes. It was almost even, 29.3 to 30.26 in terms of that. Like I said, 2 turnovers for Western Illinois. Chris Irvin was 13 for 20 for one interception and 3 touchdowns, was his longest play in 36 yards. Tyler Malk had 2 pass attempts and 1 interception. And I think it was Preston Williams who had the halfback pass for the touchdown. He was 1 for 1. Was that correct?
Yep, Preston Williams had the pass. They listed it as
Antoine McKay, but it was Preston Williams in terms of that. So Holman, Williams, Zelnowski, Irvin, Temple, Amau, and Jordan all had rushes for Western Illinois. Holman had a workman's road tonight. He had 74 yards, 4.9 average. Williams had 8.0 average for 56 yards. Taylor Zanoski, they only have him down for 4 carries. We know he had 5 for about 62, 65 yards in there. And so Western Illinois did a nice job of running the football. And 7 different receivers caught passes for Western Illinois.
They did an outstanding job of moving the ball on the ground in the first half. Leathernecks did. Chris Irvin was okay in the first half. He kind of dominated his looks to Damari Davis, but the ball was spread around a lot more in the second half. And, of course, when the backups came in, some of those guys got some catches too. But it was good to see guys like Baez and Anaya make some second-half catches. Lanier had a touchdown, one of 4 receiving touchdowns tonight. And it was great to see a touchdown to a back as Markel Holman scored on a reception and took it into the end zone. That was good to see. Those are always good to have. When you can get your running back out in space and get him open for a touchdown, that's just another thing you got to defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think, I was talking to Coach Davis and Coach Caraway about this earlier. You don't want to show a whole lot, in your preseason, but the more you show, the more people have to plan for. So, there are two sides to that sword there.
So we are very happy to report a 51-30 win for the Leathernecks. Could have been a bigger margin of victory, but Valpo, give them a little credit. They didn't quit playing.
They didn't quit playing. It's kind of like Western Illinois against the Big Ten the last 2 weeks. Didn't quit playing throughout the game either, and you got to expect that. And so, we're not trying to be Debbie Downers, but that fourth quarter tarnished that victory a little bit because of the way they dominated really through 3 quarters of play. Had kept them to in the first half, they only had 2.4 yards per play. In the first half, the defense really came out and dominated that game. Western Illinois punched the ball once. So, it really did a really nice job.
But it's a 60-minute game, and that's what the Leathernecks will be talking about in the locker room.
Well, yeah, it was kind of interesting at the end of the game there. It was a little bit different takeaway. Coach Davis has, started last year the tradition of meeting with his team in the middle of the field, but then they broke up into position groups, and position coaches were having some conversations with players. So I would bet money that was talking about how do we finish ball game conversations going on.
It certainly was. We're going to take a timeout, come back, give you the scoreboard, and then we're out of here. It is the post-game show brought to you by Nutrient Ag Solutions. We help growers achieve the highest yields with the most sustainable solutions possible, offering a wide selection of products, including proprietary brands, Loveland Products, Proven Seed, and Dynagrow Seed. We'll be right back on the Illinois Farm Bureau, Leathernecks Sports Network.
Farmington Village Nursing and Rehabilitation, Fulton County's premier skilled nursing facility, offering services such as short stay rehab to home, long-term placement for you or a loved one in your time of need, outpatient therapy services for people of all ages. Farmington Village, a federally contracted VA nursing home specializing in caring for our nation's heroes. Enjoy amenities like restaurant-style dining, plan community activities and entertainment with 24/7 professional nursing care in a quiet, comfortable home-like setting. Farmington Village, located at 701 South Main Street in Farmington, Illinois.
Ready to transform the way you bank? Try My Banker interactive teller machines, also known as ITMs, at Mid-America National Bank. Hi, this is Harley Barnard. Skip the lines and connect with a live, local teller through video at any of our ATMs. Deposit checks, withdraw cash, and get personalized assistance all at the touch of a button. Experience the future of banking today with Mid-America National Bank's My Banker ITMs. Mid-America National Bank, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Back to coverage of Western Illinois football on Q98.1.
Leatherneck band in a circle around the Western Illinois logo at midfield doing their traditional post-game work, and they'll all hug and head to the locker room here shortly, except all the hugs will be full of sweat.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a little warm out there.
No doubt. It's been a tough one here.
The OVC Big South has a bunch of scores to report, and Doc has those.
Yeah, first of all, again, nice victory tonight by the Fighting Leathernecks, 51-30 over visiting Valparaiso out of the Pioneer League. And here's kind of a shocker out of the Big South OVC. Tennessee Tech, 72-14 over Davidson. Tennessee Tech starts 3-0 for the first time since 1977. Illinois State beats Eastern Illinois 42-30. That game was not as close as the score was, though. Eastern Illinois, kind of like Valparaiso, scores 20 points in the fourth quarter to make that a closer one. North Dakota State at home beats visiting SEMO, Southeast Missouri State 40.